Right, he did. He said, "Yo, my guy." Then I said, "Yo, what time?" Then he didn't say nothing else, bro.
Would you hit him on the phone, or you hit him on
Yeah, on the phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Rolly getting that media time now that he kind of.
Yeah, he on the world tour, ain't he?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Only right.
Hey, man, you got a big win, bro.
Yeah,
That's a big win.
I like I like his talking points. You know what I'm saying? I don't always agree, but you know what I mean. Like, he's not a fool either. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's showing one thing he's showing, and shout out to Rachel Donaire, who's always told me, the Donaires are very good friends with Rolly. Like they love that kid, right? I mean,
Yeah.
And she's always said, Rolly is super intelligent, highly intelligent, more intelligent than most people that you would think he is.
Right.
The only thing I see in Rolly is that sometimes he, when confronted, he's the type of dude who needs a moment to think,
right,
to respond. If you're rushing him and pushing up on him, what he'll do is he'll get quiet on you.
Yeah.
And it'll look like he, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of like not there, but it's just that he needs that moment and that time to speak.
To process.
So I'm happy to see him. I'm happy to see him doing this thing right now. He's talking crazy, but
he needs time to process things.
He needs it. He needs you to give him that time, that moment to think, and then he'll deliver that answer. And when you hear the answer, you be like, okay, all right. I mean, not all the way there with you. I ain't all the way there with you, but okay.
Right. Okay. Right. He needs the time to process things before he can respond. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? He just like, let me. He don't want to respond wrong. You know what I'm saying? D-Boy Dev, Hole Smith, King of Kings. What's up, family? He don't want to have a wrong response.
Right.
When he responds. So he tries to think about it before he responds, which is, hey, I can respect that. You know what I'm saying?
He wants to be able to stand on whatever he says. He wants to be able to, you know what I mean? Not have to backtrack back and, you know what I mean? Right. Oh, you know what I mean? He wants to be able to be like, nah, yeah, I said that and stand on it.
Right. Road 1084. What's up, family? He and he do like, cause I've seen a lot of people like, complaining because here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
He backtracked like he contradicts stuff like everybody else. Via Ferrer, what's up? Spence, New York City, Biz0128. What's up, family?
Salute to all you guys, man. Salute Biz, salute D-Boy. You know what I mean? Hal Smith, V Ferreira. Salute, man. Salute. But yeah, man, I love watching Shakur. I love watching a lot of these fighters right now. Just be able to get in their bag right now and just and talk that talk and have that comfort zone. You know what I mean, we'll talk about it shortly, I'm sure. But yeah, man, it's a good look, man. It's a good look. I think some people would rather than be talking about their favorite guy, but there's other things going on clearly in boxing. There's opportunity out there, and there's a lot of things going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things going on outside of that one little topic, bro. And just think some people are trying to
yeah, they're trying to, man, let's just talk about that real quick, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Rich Porco, what's up, family? I know you guys have heard, I hadn't heard it. My brother Clay put me on with the information that people are running with this narrative that Turkey Alalshikh is blocking Tank Davis's fights and venues and X, Y, and Z, right? Also, you got people saying that you also have people saying that Tank Davis is working with Coach Cunningham. Okay, B McGee, what's up? So I'm going to say this to you guys, man. That's not true at all. Okay, for one, the whole working with Coach Cunningham in Florida, that is a lie. That is I talk to Coach Cunningham all the time. Pretty much almost every single day, every other day. I told the Coach Cunningham he's not training with Coach Cunningham in Florida. Eugene Pearson, what's up? Eastside Easy, what's up? So, you know, he's just simply not. It's not true, people. It's just not true. Right? So that's that. That's not true. I know people are pushing this narrative that he's in Florida training with Coach Cunningham and not Calvin and Kenny and so on and so forth. It is not true. It's not true. Coach Cunningham would say it if it was true. It's not true. He's not training with Coach Cunningham. And this whole notion that His Excellency Turkey Alalshikh is also blocking Turkey Alalshikh is blocking Tank Davis venues and fights and so on and so forth. Again, it's not true. Okay. But I'll let my brother Clay dive into that. Then I'll just respond on the back end. But what's your thoughts on that though, Clay?
I mean, you know, like I said this earlier, and I was saying this to you earlier as well, you know, on the show. You know, this is people compensating and trying to make sense of the idea that in their mind, this fight should have been announced already, right? The date should have been put out there already, and this fight should have been announced. Lamont Roach should be comfortable enough to go on his social media right now. And this is according to them. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is a representation of how they feel about it. When they ask themselves their questions and they say, why isn't the Lamont Roach Tank Davis or Tank Davis Lamont Roach 2 fight been announced yet? How come the dates were going from July? Now rumors about August. I heard somebody tell me, Ray Davis told me he heard rumors about November. Why are all these rumors happening, and why hasn't this fight been tied down yet? Why hasn't there been an announcement? So instead of embracing the idea that the fight is just not ready to be announced, whether it's the card is being built up, whether it's a venue they're looking for, whether it's the finances, negotiations, the things that normally take place in building up a fight, they'd rather jump into the conspiracy theory, right? And the busier they find Turkey Alalshikh, the busier and the more events he's putting on, and the more dates he's locking in, the more tense and more anxiety they're feeling, because they're in their mind, they've pinned Turkey Alalshikh in Riyadh's season against the PBC now Haney. They've done this constantly, no matter how much Tom Brown has said he's open to working with a Turkey, no matter how much fights have happened with PBC fighters on their cards. In their mind, there's a competition going on. And so as they're seeing Turkey become more busy, they're starting to take that as he's taking away dates from Tank now. He's making it difficult for the PBC. And in their mind, they're painting a picture of Turkey actually stopping Tank Davis and Lamont Roach 2 from happening. So now that's the narrative. Here's why the fight has been put together. It hasn't been put together because Turkey. And in their own way, clout chasing what Turkey's doing, right? Because I'm sure there's no coincidence that this is coming off the back end of the weekend where Turkey had all his events, and they're not using this to push their false narratives. At the end of the day, it doesn't make sense. Turkey doesn't need Tank Davis, which is, I know this is the narrative you guys want to push, that he needs Tank Davis. No, there's a difference between need and want, right? There's a difference between needing something and being like, you know what, you and Shakur is a big fight. I'd love to facilitate that. If you guys want to turn that into he can't live without it, then it gets diabolical. So there's no receipts to back these allegations up. They're completely baseless on nothing, you know, that I can find or that I can see. And this was sent to me as well, where somebody was like, have you heard about this? What's going on with this? And then I saw it and I'm like, what the hell is this? What are y'all talking about? So I'm looking all over the place and I can't find nothing. And what are these people saying? Sources. So yeah, man, baseless points doesn't even make
diabolical
sense. Yeah. Baseless points. I don't even understand how they connect in the dots like that. But at the end of the day, one thing I've taken away from it, Blue, is the PBC fans are not happy with the rollout of this Tank Davis Lamont Roach 2 fight, and they want answers and they want this fight to get announced. And so instead of holding the PBC accountable or getting in Tank's DM and being like, what's going on, champion, putting the pressure on the people who probably have the answers y'all want, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You choosing to attack again, put this on Turkey in some way and turn this into something, and the lemons, you know what I mean? The lemons, the followers, the mindless group economic type mentality, people who can't think on their own, are grabbing onto this now and echo chambering this throughout the whole space. And it's amazing to watch, and it's nonsense to hear.
Yeah, I mean, Turkey Alalshikh blocking Tank Davis's fights is just ridiculous. He is his. How could I say this, right? He is a multi-billionaire. He has $1 trillion budget for sports. He's not concerned with Tank. And the biggest reason he's not concerned with Tank is because he don't even care about return on investment. It would be one thing if he cared about return on investment, and you say, and you could try to make an argument on a case and say, well, Tank Davis is going to bring money to him. But he don't even care. This event in New York City, there was absolutely no return on investment. No plan for a return on investment. Okay? There was no gate. There was nothing. All money going out, Clay. No money coming in.
Facts.
He paid for guaranteed the purses for guys on different platforms. Okay, Ryan Garcia is with Golden Boy. Rolly is with PBC.
Mm-hmm.
Right? These fighters are with, it just sounds dumb.
Devin Haney's independent. Jose Ramirez Ramirez with Golden Boy, and Teofimo's with Top Rank. Like,
and who's Barboza with?
Barboza's with Golden Boy.
Golden Boy, right? And then he put on New York City firefighter versus New York City Police Department fight. There was no return on investment. He could care less. So if I don't care about the return on investment, why do I care if Tank is on there or not? And right now, Bill Haney confirmed that Devin Haney will be back either on Canelo's card with Terrence Crawford in September, or he'll fight the Ryan fight in October. If Ryan don't take the fight in October, they're gonna fight on Terrence Crawford undercard against Canelo Alvarez. So he don't even care about it. Devin Haney's coming back, right, Clay?
Right.
And everybody's complaining about the performance. And he don't even care. Right? On top of that, look at Canelo's performance with William Skull. He don't care. He's getting ready to give Canelo $85 million.
Yeah. He just wanted Canelo to make sure he went and grabbed that belt by any means. Bring that belt so it could be an undisputed fight. I don't give a damn.
I don't care. And on top of that, I'm seeing people say, oh, well, yeah, he was yelling at Ryan because he invested in a Ryan-Devin rematch. He wants to put the rematch on, and he didn't want Ryan to lose. Why would he want Ryan to lose? It had nothing to do with the PBC. It just had everything to do with the back end. What's to come, right? He didn't want that. It's like there's no different than me and Clay watching the Canelo Williams Skull fight, and subconsciously we don't care, but subconsciously, Kenny, what's up, family? Judas 773, Eugene Pearson, the Cardenas, what's up? Kai Fly, what's up? TJ, what's up? Clay, we didn't have a dog in the race, but our dog in the race involves Canelo winning because we want to see Canelo versus Crawford. So Sylvester Solomon 2011, what's up? Flyer Frequency, what's up? Anthony X, what's up? So of course we want Canelo to win the fight against William Skull because we want to see Crawford and Canelo. So of course Turkey Alalshikh wanted Ryan and Devin to win because he wants to make the rematch in October. That's simple mathematics, people. This is not this is not rocket science. He don't have to be. He is not a manager. He's not a promoter. Okay. What he is a partner of the ambassador. Is this safe to say, Clay? He's an ambassador to the sport of boxing.
That's it.
That's it. He finances the sport of boxing. Right? He has the money. If me and Clay had the money that he had and the budget in the back end, we could say, hey, you know what? We wanted to see this fight. Let's put the money up. What y'all do as managers, promoters, and all that, I ain't got nothing to do with that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to remove the roadblocks.
Right.
There you go, the Cardenas. He said a financer. Right. Yeah. What me and Clay will do, if I had $1 trillion and Clay had $1 trillion and we come together as friends and we be like, yo, Clay, we love boxing. Let's try to make a change. We tired of this.
We'd be the most hated dudes in boxing, bro. They be destroying us online because the stuff that we be doing having dudes sick to their stomach.
But Clay, what we are is just fans of the sport of boxing. That's financing the sport.
Right.
Right. So if me and you sit here, Clay, and we want to see, we wanted to see Tank and Shakur, hypothetically speaking, and Tank is saying, I need $50 million or better yet, even better, we want to see Keyshawn versus Shakur.
Right.
And they saying they need $200 million. Right? Now, me and Clay could afford it. So me and Clay come in and say, you know what, Clay? You give Shakur $100 million, I'll give Keyshawn $100 million.
Let's make it happen.
Now we eliminated the roadblock. The biggest issue is gone.
Right.
Now the promoters come together, Clay. They ain't got to worry about who's paying what, who's getting what cut. What y'all do with the back end is on y'all. You want me to put it on? You want me and Clay to put it on pay-per-view so that y'all can get money on the back end? Because if I guarantee Keyshawn $100 million and Clay guarantees Shakur $100 million, right? Clay, that don't come. The promoters and managers don't get a percentage of that.
And that's where the issue comes in, right?
That's where the issue comes in, right? So now, okay, in order for them to eat, me and you say, well, we're going to make this a pay-per-view event.
Right.
So now y'all get the pay-per-view money and y'all could divvy up the pay-per-view money. And now Keyshawn and Shakur can say, well, I want a 60-40 split, whatever, 50-50. And out of that split, then your managers, promoters, whoever, they get their cut out of that split.
Right.
Right? But now the fight's made. Now let's say we make that fight, Clay. Me and you put the money up, we make the fight. Now they like, hey, well, we need to get some work in before we fight. Okay, cool. Now we set up hypothetically, right? 250 to quit. What's up? I set up Keyshawn versus Edwin Del Santos. You set up Shakur versus Williams Zepeda. Now me and you already came together. We already paid for them to fight each other afterwards. So why would we be sitting there and not rooting for Keyshawn and Shakur to win? It makes no sense. And then people try to say, see, we knew Clay and Blue was biased. What are you talking about? We don't have a bias because that we're not neither one of them is signed to us. We don't have a commitment to nobody.
We just biased to the fight happening.
We just biased to the what the back end results is.
Right.
Because we need to get to that part. And on top of it, Clay, they can't. Here's the worst part, Clay. It ain't like they could get the money without fighting. So I'm not even losing anything. You feel me, Clay? So if Keyshawn was to lose to Edwin and Shakur was to lose to Williams Zepeda, what do me and you lose? Nothing.
Right. If
they don't fight. And people don't even use their common sense to say that part. You understand? So if Devin and Ryan lost, what does Turkey care? He only cares because, damn, I wanted to see the rematch and I invested in promotion for it. And I wanted to face him off and so on and so forth. And that got ruined. That's it. That's all. So people don't even make sense when they say these things. Yeah, Chris, like they doing me dirty, bro. They doing me dirty. It took us 15 minutes to get 50 people in here. Come on, man. My Egypt, peace of blessings, Queen. It took us 15 minutes, Chris, like to get 50 people. Come on, man. That's not even realistic. He said notification was 18 minutes late, and for a video from yesterday. Insane, bro.
Yeah, I noticed that too. They didn't have the red dot because I'm on my other computer here, my laptop, and I was looking, and it didn't say that we was live. It didn't even say it. Now it says it. Now it's on there. Now it says it.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden the numbers is going up.
Some kind of delayed reaction.
Yeah, they doing this dirty. Yeah. But yeah, Clay, you know what I'm saying? So if anything, it would benefit Tank to work with Turkey. It don't benefit Turkey to work with Tank because he's just gonna lose money. Paul Bond, what's up?
Like it benefits Turkey on a superficial level, I want that level, right? It benefits me on I would love to make that fight happen. I get to it benefits him from a fan point of view. But as far as it affects his bottom line.
I couldn't say it no better. There it is.
You know what I mean? Like I want that. It's kind of like me buying your Jaguar right now. You know what I'm saying? I want to buy your car. I got the money. You don't want to sell it. It's kind of annoying me because I want the damn car. But am I walking around here dying because I ain't got the car? Nah, bro. Right. I might be a little butthurt because I'm like, damn, he acting like my money. I can't. Well, come on, let me get the damn car.
And you want that specific one? You could buy another one. It's just something about that one.
Yeah, I want it. And you kind of being weird about it. I'm offering you more money than it's worth, and you acting weird. So I might feel some kind of way. But to walk around town like, hey, you know what I'm saying? He need my car. You know what I'm saying?
To start blocking me is just ridiculous. Like, bro, hey, you know what? You don't want to work me, I'm gonna block you. For what?
Yeah, it just don't make no sense.
It makes zero sense.
It don't add up. And I'm gonna tell you like this.
If you really want to be technical, Clay, let's now you want to really be technical. Let's be technical, right? If you really want to be technical, Clay, if he wanted to play that game, the long game like that, right, Clay? Guess what? He could block him for the next 5 years. He got the money to do it.
Right. And he wouldn't have to sugarcoat it. He could just do it.
He could just do it. He can literally say, I got TKO.
Right.
I got all these fighters. You know what? Vegas, MGM, and you think they ain't gonna do it? They don't care about boxing. They care about money.
He could call Lamont up right now and just be real petty. Let's be honest. He could send him a phone call like, Lamont, I got 20 million for you. I got 15 million right now guaranteed for you to fight Shakur.
Right.
And leave Lamont.
He could call Lamont Roach and make an offer that ain't no way in hell Lamont Roach turned down. He could call Lamont Roach right now, Clay, and be like, listen, I give you $75 million. You just fight Shakur on Canelo, Terrence Crawford undercard. Guaranteed. I'll put it in your escrow right now. What's up?
Yeah. He could say some ignorant numbers, bro. And I'm just saying, if you wanted to block, there's a lot easier ways than trying to get in front. Oh, they called up for Barkley. Yo, book it. Yo, they called up for the T-Mobile. What? Yo, I need to put eyes on him. If he go book the T-Mobile. Oh, they want these. Imagine the work. There's easier ways to block a fight than being like underhanded like this. He's not under any laws that are preventing him from doing things way worse than booking a venue on the same day that you need it. It's just not the case.
The thing is, Clay, if he wanted to, like I said, let me tell you this, right? I booked the venues. Mm-hmm. The most you pay for the venue to secure it is probably about $50,000. Let that sink in, Clay.
Yeah, bro.
So if he wanted to book the major, he got Canelo.
Right.
So he could book every venue for September and May for the next 5 years.
Right.
And that's only what? 2 times 5 is 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's only what, $1 million or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Let that sink in, people. How stupid that is. Because for one, he could book MGM and T-Mobile for the next 5 years for May and September. And it won't even cost him $1 million because it's $50,000. So what 2 is 100,000, right? That's $500,000, Clay.
Yeah, there's definitely easier ways to make this happen than go through all this underhanded nonsense that people are trying to.
But Clay, so that's 500,000. Now I just booked and guess what? Are you going to book Tank Davis to compete with in September anywhere with Canelo? J Pitty City, what's up? TJ, what's up? Geo James Khalil 98, what's up? No, right, Clay?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what, Clay? The worst part is Canelo will only be 39. He will only just be a year older than what Terrence Crawford is right now. Okay? That's number one. Number two, now I only spent $500,000. That's not even $1 million. And I booked Canelo for the next 5. I did book Vegas for the next 5 years for those days. Now, to make it worse, right? And to make it worth their while, like Clay said, he could add some ignorant numbers. So let's say T-Mobile MGM is like, hey man, we don't want. Okay, I'll give you an extra 50,000. Now let's make it a cool $1 million. Yeah. I'll give you 100,000 for each day. Of course they're gonna do it. You understand? Now, on top of that, I need the T-Mobile for. I'm gonna add 2 more months for Terrence Crawford and Haney and whoever I want to put on there, right? And Shakur. So I'm gonna add a couple more months. He could literally book 3 to 4 months a year for the next 5 years, Clay, and spend less than $2 million. And now what you gonna do?
Right.
Because if, like Clay said, he could really get ignorant and really do some real ridiculous promotions and offer these fighters.
If you wanted to block him, he could really be way more aggressive and way more effective than this tactic.
People gotta use your brains, man. Y'all gotta use your brains. Stop listening to these people, man. I don't know how y'all listen to these people. I don't get it. I don't get it. It just doesn't resonate. I don't understand how this stupidity just resonates with y'all, man. I don't get it at all. Like, people just simply just don't use their brain. He can literally just be downright ignorant, right? He could say, listen, you know what, Canelo, if he really want to be spiteful, Tank gonna fight in August. You know what, Dave Benavidez, I'm gonna offer you $100 million to fight Caleb Smith, and the winner gets the winner of this. You know, he could just play real ridiculous numbers that they can't refuse, and there's nothing they could do about it. So at the end of the day, like me and Clay said, if he really wanted to block him out, he don't have to play games with the venues, people.
Yeah, that's kind of like low key beneath him. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to.
It doesn't even make sense for him, man. It does nothing for him. Like, it's a waste of time to play that petty game. That's a petty game.
Yeah. The truth of the matter is, more than likely, the fight's not ready to be announced because they haven't put the event together yet properly. That's it. Just
plain and simple. That's it. That's all, Clay. Because if he wanted to block the venue, he just wouldn't be fighting. Period.
Yeah. And how much power and how weak do you make Tank look to that he could sit here and be?
I thought he was the face of boxing.
Right. Like, he can't be blocked, man. He's Tank, bro. Like, and listen, man, and it's so funny because I'll be painted as a hater of Tank or something like that, but I'm sitting here like, no way. If Tank wants to make a fight, he can make a fight. That's why I say all the time, if Tank is not in a fight that you want to see him in, it's because he don't want to be in a fight. Period. It's not for nothing else, because he has the power. He's earned it. He's done so much, put so many asses in seats, flipped so many pay-per-views, given so many exciting performances. He is the guy. Along with that comes with accountability on putting the fights together that you guys want to see. It's up to him. It is what it is. Yeah, yo, Edwin, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Round one, what's up? What's your round one? Salute.
I see you outside, baby. You working, man. Congratulations. I want to say congratulations, but I don't make it something like that. But man, you're doing well out here, man. You stepping your game up, man. It's a good look on you, brother. Congratulations.
Yeah, so let's get to the topics at hand.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about first?
So
things that don't make any sense. It's what they want to hear. It doesn't have
so
to make
so this Rolly, first of all, Rolly contradicted himself, right? When he said that the Asherim don't play a part, but then in the same breath,
harder. Yeah.
I mean, again, and salute to the GOAT 95 brother in the super chat dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. He said, "I wish Shakur was the co-main on Keyshawn fight in Norfolk, Virginia." Yeah, Country Q Deuce 5. What's up, family? I bet you they'll fight after that. Marco Bolivia, what's up? But yeah, he said the Asherim don't play a part, but then it only helps you cut weight. It only helps you have more stamina, and it only helps you be in a little more helps a little more conditioning. There's no such thing as a little more. If it does, if it helps you, it helps you. If it don't, it don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Does it help you punch harder? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But it allows you to do things to be able to build yourself up to punch harder.
Right. 100%. Right. That's like saying steroids don't make you stronger. I guess to a degree you can say that, but it gives you the conditioning and the stamina to be in the gym and gives you the ability to recover in your workout so that you heal faster and therefore build muscle. Therefore,
and it's going to allow you to put more density in your muscle.
Right.
Right. So if I go to the gym and train, right, it's not going to, if I take steroids and sit on the couch, I'm not going to gain muscle.
Right.
Obviously. You know what I'm saying? But if I take steroids and go to the gym, it's going to benefit me.
Facts.
Period. It's just like anything else. You know what I'm saying? If everything has some sort of effect, negative or positive, right? Mm-hmm. If I eat carbs all day long and sit on the couch, I'm gonna get fat.
Period.
If I eat carbs, but I'm going to the gym doing 45 minutes of cardio every day and burning 500 to 1,000 calories a day, well, guess what? Those carbs is going to turn into energy, and it's going to benefit me. Right. It's just simple as that. So, of course, does Asherim allow you to have more punching power? No, but it's going to give me the ability to recover quickly, to be able to do things to increase my punching power, to increase my stamina, to increase my hand speed. It's going to give me the ability to do that. Simple. So people just don't want to highlight the obvious. And like you always say, Clay, nobody uses Asherim as a main source. It's usually paired with something. Mm-hmm. And that's something that people don't want to well, Barry Bonds and Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa wasn't taking Asherim. If they was massive. They was taking a lot of other things to go along with that.
Yeah, Asherim always normally goes with something else. It's not really something people take by itself. It's made to hedge the effects of certain anabolic steroids. Yeah, man. The Asherim conversation is a deeper conversation than just that. The Asherim he had in his system isn't enough to help him do whatever. It's not about that amount helping him get stronger. It's about the sign of it. The reason is a zero tolerance of it is because they'll never be able to tell how much was ultimately in your system, meaning that you were probably cycling off. And also it's normally used with something else, right? So that's why the nandrolone that they thought they found in there, then later were like, no, that's not what it was. That's why it was so important, because Asherim's usually paired with something else. So, you know, it's zero tolerance for a reason, not because of what 0.6 nanograms will do, because of what it means. It's like if they come in your crib and they find the police raid your crib and they find, you know, let's say 2-3 grams of cocaine on a scale, you know what I'm saying, in your crib, they'll charge you for more than that, because they're going to assume that you was weighing out and using, you know what I mean? They'll charge you differently. They won't just charge you for the gram and a half they found on the scale. The scale shows that there was weight involved. You know what I'm saying? And what's not there doesn't mean it wasn't there because it's on a scale. So you be charged accordingly. Same thing in your system. He's not getting charged because of the 6 nanograms per se. He's getting charged because we don't know how much you put in your system. And we can safely assume that you were putting enough in your system for it to be effective. That was the point of you using it. It wasn't, you know what I mean? You weren't playing around with it. So whatever it was, you were using it. We can argue that consciously you were using it in the spirit of the benefits that it could be used if you used it in the right amount, in the right capacity. So we can't put our finger on how much you use, but we're just going to charge you because the fact that it's there means that it was there and it's there to enhance your performance. Like, that's all it is. It's not really that complicated. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. How would it be Turkey's fault? Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? That narrative getting pushed out there is diabolical. It's crazy. And it's not that I care so much, but I do feel like the reach is very telling, very profound on how people are feeling about this Tank Lamont Roach fight being announced. They feel like it should be announced already. And maybe they're right. Maybe it should be announced by now. Maybe there is no, you know, it's the same thing with the Shakur Gervonta Tank Davis negotiations, right? It was like Shakur ducking. He has to be ducking. Man, it isn't this and this and that. And Shakur's telling you that, nah, bro, they called the check, but they never sent me an offer. Nah, man, I believe this. I believe that. Why? Because you feel like the fight should be made. And the last thing you want to do is entertain that Tank didn't send an offer.
And rightfully so, right? Like, the thing is, they're fishing and they create false narratives. That's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? You're fishing to try to figure out, why this fight is not happening, and then making up lies about sources, and venues. It's just not true, right? Clay seen it now firsthand with me.
Yeah.
He knows that I told the people from PBC, I told the people from all walks of life in the sport of boxing. It's a small world, okay, bruh. Ain't no real sources out here telling these dudes that they're blocking, Turkey is blocking. Come on, man.
Yeah. That don't make no sense.
It doesn't make no sense. Like, period. At the end of the day, right, there's a lot of different factors that's falling under this situation. They want to pack the undercard of Tank Davis fight. They're looking to put Jamel Charlo, Keith Thurman, Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu. So those are factors that's pushing the date back. Simple. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, it was supposed to take place in June. There's obviously the reports was out there. We saw it that Lamont Roach wants more money, as he should. I seen the General 7-8 said that Tank want more money. Don't know about that. I didn't hear anything about that. Nobody ran that across me or anything, so I'm not sure.
Right.
But it's different factors. But Turkey being the factor, come on, man. Listen, people, you got to understand something. He's just not Tank is not a factor enough for Turkey.
It's not that important, man. It just isn't.
Not that important. Exactly, Clay. There it is. He's not important to Tank. Like, he would like to work with him and do business with him and put fights on with him, but it's just not that important for him.
Facts.
It's not. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that much to him. Tank don't move the needle for him enough to be like, I need to have Tank Davis. If I can't get him, I'm going to block him. Come on, bro. And on top of that, Jalen, peace, bless, Queen, how you feeling today? On top of that, Tank is trying to do stuff with Jake Paul in November and all types of ridiculous things. Like, Turkey's not trying to block that. As a matter of fact, Turkey and TKO is looking to do business with Netflix. So if anything,
that was you?
That was me by accident. If anything, Turkey is cornering the market, going with Netflix and things of that nature. Period. It's just not that. he's not that. It's just not that serious.
And look for it to be at some point. It might be competitive for the spaces, right? It might be some conflicted interest. And look what happened with Dana or UFC and Canelo Alvarez when he was fighting Edgar Berlanga, and how they wanted the MGM, but the MGM went ahead and went with Canelo and gave him the fight, and they had to go over to that other place across the street. That happens, right? That may happen. But at the end of the day, are we willing to say that, oh, Canelo purposely did that to block Dana, or that Dana was purposely trying to book that date to block Canelo? No, bro. There's one MGM. It's a big space. They both want to do big Cinco de Mayo events, and it might be competitive. But to paint the idea that blocking is happening, I think is just a far reach. And I think without the real receipts, you look crazy for pushing the narrative. You look crazy. Anybody with some real common sense is gonna look at that like, or at least if you got to be asking questions, at least like, why, how? I don't understand. Turkey's being blamed for Roach and Tank fight not being announced. Yeah, that's it, Nick. Straight up what they're saying. They're saying this dude is on a campaign, booking venues, blocking to block Tank Davis. Why? Because they want Tank Davis to fight on Riyadh, and they're attacking him until they're trying to press him into a situation. It's stupid. It's just dumb. I don't know how you could put your credibility in your face on a statement and narrative like that.
Yeah, it's just getting ridiculous, Nick J. Like, bro, I can't. Yo, Clay, it's like, to me, bro, I'm so tired of these. There shouldn't even be a place for this nonsense in this in this space, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It really should not, man. It should not, and to each his own, you know what I'm saying? I never try to block nobody bread or nothing like that. But it just shouldn't be no place for this nonsense.
All right, go ahead, bro.
A space for this, bro. It's just idiocy. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to push push the sport forward. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's very possible that, how about it just being possible that that Tank is dragging his feet because he don't like the offer that's on the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A1 Hoops on Manuel H. What's up, family? Where you been at? Tariq Reed, what's up, family? You understand what I'm saying, Clay? Like, how about that's just the case?
Yeah, bro.
But it is what it is, man.
It's business, man. A million things that could be outside of this conspiracy to watch Tank fall being the case. A million things.
Yeah. But anyway, so Big Billa, what's up? That's not new and been happening in boxing, but to come out to the public with it like they can't work around is pathetic. Yeah, it's just stupid, man. The reality is it's just stupid. This dude is worth he's worth for $2 billion or $3 billion, whatever dollars, and he's not even going in his own pocket. He got $1 trillion budget for sports, and he's best friends with the prince.
Yeah.
So he don't have he's not even going in his own pockets. Like, it's not even necessary for him to. Again, Nick J, what me and Clay was just saying was, if he really wanted to play that game, he can actually go. Cano Local Sports, what's up, Cano? Where you been at, bro? He can literally, Nick J, if he wanted to, he can just go in his pockets and just book out every venue for the next 5 years in Las Vegas and other places, and it would be less than $2 million. Just make that, Black Adam, what's up? Just make that make sense, Nick J. Literally, it just costs like $50,000 to secure a venue, and that's the high end. Robert Chandler, what's up, family? So if he could book these venues September and May for Canelo for the next 5 years, and it'd only be $500,000. What's up with Boston? Raymond Still, what's up? Then he could book out, if he wanted to, other dates just cause if he wanted to be spiteful. Come on, man. Alan Lamb, my brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on your boy Blue. He said, salute Blue and Clay. Salute, family. Now, think about this, right, Nick J and Clay? He can literally...
I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Okay. He can literally book out all the venues if he wanted to. Just go in his pocket and say, here go $10 million. Let's book every venue from New York to Vegas, what other big place, and StubHub in California. Let me secure and book these dates for the next 5 years, and nobody else can use it. What they gonna do? He's literally wasting money, right? This event in New York, he didn't get $1 off it. There was no gate. He didn't get a single dollar, and it was invite only. He paid for people to come. Then he paid for the fighters. So imagine how much money he spent in New York. He paid for the celebrities and the people to be ringside. He paid for the fighters. He paid $18 million to secure the location and then didn't even get the location he secured. So imagine if he just took $10 million and said, listen, I'm going to book every venue for the next 5 years in New York, in Vegas, and in LA for boxing, any boxing dates. What you going to do? And to make it worse, Yoni Crab, what's up? To make it worse, Nick J, I got Top Rank, Golden Boy, and Matchroom under my banner. And PBC works with us as well. So I'm not going to, and I'm doing TKO with Dana White. So it's not like I'm going to be short on fighters. And then if I really want to be spiteful, I can make guys like David Benavidez offers they can't refuse. Aaron Purnell, what's up? And what you going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing they can do about
it. They've allowed this obsession, and it's obsession at this point with their fighter and their promotional company to just
let's call it what it is. It's stupidity and ignorancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's stupidity and ignorance. That's what it is. It ain't even an obsession now. It's just ignorant and stupidity. Period. Yeah. Because if he wanted to, Clay, like you said this, right? And I didn't even think about this. But you said this, right, Clay? If he really wanted to block the fight, he would just fucking pay Lamont Roach an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah.
And take Lamont Roach out the fight.
He could offer him $15 million guaranteed right now and have Lamont Roach on Tank like, yo, what's up? This happening now, dog, because I got bread on the table, bro.
That's what, Clay, he ain't even going to call Tank. He ain't even going to call Tank. A $15 million guaranteed. Just do. What's up? Yee Huncho. What's up? Real Death. What Red Death. What's up? Peace, Clay, Joe. I'm putting $15 million in your escrow right now, Lamont, to come over here and fight Devin Haney or Rolly Romero or whatever. Shakur got this Zepeda fight, but he could pull him out the Zepeda fight, right? I got $15 million I'm putting in your escrow right now. Lamont is not even. Hey, bro, what? You got what? You said what?
Yeah, there's ways to do it outside of what they're saying.
If I want to block you, I'm not even I got the money to burn, baby. I'm not gonna bounce around playing your little petty, how you say on Paid in Full, paper bag games. Why am I doing that? What Moneybag Yo say? Keep playing games with me. I'm gonna take your girl to places she didn't even know exist.
Right. It's true, man.
Right.
It's true, bro. Like,
man, I'll take your girl to a place she never knew exists.
Right. Whole name and everything. She didn't even know this place, what this place was called, where it was at, and didn't know it was on the map.
Come on, man. Keep playing the game with me. That's the time Turkey could be on if he wanted to.
There's parts of me that be wanting him to just flex on them right quick just to make them happy, to give him something to talk about. You want me to block? Let me show you how to do it.
Right. Keep playing this game and fly your girl out to places she didn't even know exist.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the game Turkey can play. No disrespect to Lamont Roach.
Yeah, because I guarantee they're offering him like a $2 million guarantee right now, a $1.5, $2 million guarantee.
He mess around. He could do this. Hey, Lamont, if this the game he could play if he wanted to.
Right.
Lamont, I'll give you $15 million and Lamont is independent. Don't forget.
Right.
As your daddy, as a promoter to you, I'll give your daddy $2 million. Mm-hmm. That guaranteed purse they talking about giving you over there, I give it to your daddy. And I'm guaranteeing you $15 million. You think Lamont Roach is going to entertain Tank from there? Hey, bro, I'll see you next on the back end.
Yeah.
And then I'm giving you a big fight, a big name on top of it. Man, come on, man. And he can mess around and give him a tune-up. Josh Padley. I give you Josh Padley for $15 million, bro.
Yeah. How about I unify, send you back to 130 with your belt and have you unify? I'll shoot you $5 million guaranteed to fight
Raymond Ford.
Or Shaki Foster.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I'll give you a unification by 130, baby.
Right now.
Come on, man. If he really wanted to play the games, people, use your brain, man. Stop listening to these buffoons.
Yeah, it's sad.
Stop listening to these buffoons, man. It's just ridiculous. If he wanted to play big bank, take little bank, he could do it. Trust me. And it wouldn't be a problem. It's not going to be an issue for him.
Yeah. It's never going to work out that way. It is what it is. So, not to steer the traffic, but this Shakur Stevenson interview. So Shakur's back on the tour, man. He's getting ready. He's building for this fight.
Now, again, like I said, right, I like the idea of him saying he'll go to 54 and fight Conor Benn, right?
Mm.
My only Sugar-Free Mars, peace of blessings, Queen. What's up, Queen?
Where's she at? Where's she at?
Right there. She got a range?
She don't got no range. But I see her right there. Nah, bro. But salute, Sugar-Free. I ain't see you yesterday. I looked back and I saw you was in there. Peace, Queen. Hope everything's good. Hope everything's good. Yep. You hook her up?
Yeah, I'm hooking up right now.
Yeah, she didn't have it before.
Blessings to the Queen, Sugar-Free Mars. Great meeting you, Queen.
Yeah.
Great meeting you. She got, man, go check out Sugar-Free Mars channel. Oh, you put the link to your channel in the chat?
I think I did. I'll do it again, though.
Okay. You understand? So it's just like, come on, man. If he wanted to play big bang, take little bang, that would be easy. But now, so Shakur said that he would go up to 54 and fight against Conor Benn at 154, right? Mm-hmm. And I love the idea of it, right, Clay? My only issue is here goes with the contradictions again, right? Because when asked about fighting Devin Haney, T.O., Ryan at 147, he was like, man, I'm limited. I'm capped out. If they do a catchweight at 144, I'll do it. I ain't going above there. I'm capped out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you like, I'll go fight Conor Benn at 54?
I think it was because I think there's a chance it could have been because he was dealing with the hands, those injuries. You know what I'm saying? And he was a little self-conscious and also not in the same position to make the money he's made. I think with this Turkey collaboration that's happening behind him, he doesn't have to think about those other things he was thinking about before, like it being worth it money-wise and things like that. You know, now that there's a financier who's behind it, I think he's a lot more open to doing. And like I said to you earlier, I felt like the interview showed me that he's really confident, bro. I think he's got control of them hands, or he's got enough faith in what he's doing with his hands right now. He's very confident. He's looking for a victim. He's looking for somebody to put him hands on to show out. That's what I think.
But that's quite possible, right? Hetty the Rapper, what's up? But Phil Greer, what's up? The only issue that I had with it is that he still said that he would fight them at 144. He's just too small to go to 47.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like he's still saying he'll fight them, but just not above his weight limit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that he could beat Conor Benn.
And you don't think he's just rating him? Like he's looking at the skill set and being like, that's some, like not saying he'd go to 154 and fight anybody, but saying he sees something in Conor Benn that he can exploit.
Possible, right, Clay?
Mm-hmm.
And do me a favor, people, real quick. We almost at the halfway mark. Can you do me a favor? Click the link, subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain channel. The link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. Click that link, subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain channel. The link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. So click that link and subscribe to his channel. Salute to Big Billo, brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. Says salute 100. Salute, family. So very possible, right? Mm-hmm. But in my eyes, I'm like, what did he see in Conor Benn? Because that dude is not no poo putt. And again, as a fighter, he might have seen something, right, Clay?
Right.
But that dude ain't no poo putt.
No, he not. He not.
So to say like, hey, bro, I see something in Conor Benn, I can exploit. Like that dude is not a poo putt. You know what I'm saying? And that dude kept coming. And kudos to Conor Benn because we know he popped for dirty, so he was clean, and nothing changed with that dude.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see a drop off, right? Like we seen with Ryan.
No, maybe a little edge on the power. Not seeing him stop people, but that's about it.
But he was laying them on people. He looked just as explosive.
Yeah.
And two, we got to factor in Chris Eubanks is it was much bigger.
But he said he'll go to not 47. Yeah, he said he'll fight Devin at 40. I heard was somebody who's open.
Remember what Devin, he said, they said, would you fight Devin, Ryan, so on and so forth? And he was like, at what weight? And they was like, well, they moving to 40. So he said, yeah, I heard they moved. Nah, that's too big. That's too much for me. He said, I already moved up 26, 30, and 35. He was like, this is my weight right here.
Right.
He's like, maybe at 140, catch weight 144, but he's like, I'm not going above that. You see what I'm saying?
I think he's just open. He's just letting it be known he's open to doing a lot of things. It's just if it makes sense, money wise, if the right timing is there. But he also said in that interview, but 135 is my weight. He said that really is my weight, low key. He was like, that really is where I need to be at. But he's just letting you know that for the right fight, for the super fight, for the right money, for the right opportunity, things can happen. You know what I mean? But I think 54 is a little bit of a reach. I ain't gonna lie.
That's a big reach. The reason being is because it's Conor Benn. Like Conor Benn is, to me, he didn't win the Chris Eubanks fight, though Chris Eubanks clearly won. But he showed me a lot in that fight, bro.
He buckled Eubanks a couple of times.
Yeah, and what he showed me was Pimpin. What he showed me with the Chris Eubanks, J Money, what's up, Philly? What he showed me with Chris Eubanks, Clay, is like Boots ain't gonna just stop Conor Benn. You know what I'm saying? Like he was taking some punches from a dude who was clearly 180, right? Because he couldn't rehydrate the next day, but he was easy 180, right? That dude was laying him. Chris Eubanks ain't a poo putt either.
Not at all.
And he was laying him on kind of. He was clearly the much bigger dude. And that dude kept coming. That, you know what I'm saying? So I was impressed with Conor Benn, man. I was very impressed with him.
Yeah. Me too. I think he moved his stock way up in that fight. In a loss, moved his stock up.
Way up. In the loss because he jumped up 2 weight classes, right? And there was a lot of pressure because it was a family rival.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Against a family rival, you know what I mean? And a guy who's a lot bigger. Hey, I'm impressed. K Different Breed, Peace Bless Queen. What's up with you? She said, now I want to see him fight Devin at 147. I thought it was out the question before that interview. There you see, that's what I'm saying, Clay. That's what I'm saying, Clay. You can't put that out there for hardcore fans like myself and the Queen K Different Breed. Because now we're gonna be like, all right, we'll fight Devin at 147.
Yeah, I think he'll do it. I think he'll do it. I think he'd do it.
He gonna have to now.
I think the money come in there, turkey seat. I think he does it.
He gonna have to now. You know what I'm saying? Because you put that out there. Put it out there. You know what I mean? But how do you see the fight with him and Conor Benn, though? Break that down.
Between Shakur and Conor?
Yeah.
I think Shakur just outboxes him, just moves, scores. I think he might even hurt him, buck him. I think Conor just comes in a little wide, and Shakur can take advantage of that. You know, he's a straight puncher, short punches, great body work. A lot of people keep talking about that chin. When you talk about Conor Benn, you talk about what Chris Eubanks did to his chin and that it didn't hurt him. But that body, man, that body is different, man. You know what I mean? And Shakur Stevenson is the type of person to whistle while he worked. You know what I mean? He'd be up in there digging into that body. Round 1, round 2, round 3. I think he beats Conor Benn as well. I ain't gonna lie. I think Conor Benn's a small 154 pounder. You know what I mean? Even though he fought at 160 in the 160 weight class, he's still a small 154. He's really a 147-pound fighter. So I think if Shakur was to fight anybody, it should be Conor. If it was going to be at 154, I mean. Yeah, I think Shakur wins that fight handily.
Just outboxing him.
Just boxing him. Boxing. Yeah. I think he'll put knots on his head and everything. I think he'll look like he was in a fight and everything. He won't be running around. He'll be, you know, offensive and defensive in that fight. That's what I think.
The thing is, like, he's just gonna keep coming, right? Conor's gonna keep coming, and I think Shakur can outbox him, but I think that it's gonna be a lot tougher than Shakur anticipate because Conor is so durable, and he's gonna be able to take his punches, and Shakur's not a big puncher.
He's seen something though. He's seen something. For him to say that, he saw something. He sees something that Conor's doing that he could take advantage of. Without doubt.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, so Conor is explosive. He's athletic. So the movement and the ability that Shakur has is not going to be to stay away from Conor. I don't think that he can deter. He's going to. Conor's going to be in his face. You know what I'm saying? And Conor can punch, and he's big. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to absorb those punches. And he's going to keep coming. He's going to be in Shakur's chest. You know what I'm saying? Because he's very fast on his feet. He has fast hands and explosive. So the movement that Shakur presents is not going. Shakur's going to have to fight. Is what I'm trying to say. He's going to have to fight 1,000%. Like he's not going to be able to just box circles. He's going to have to fight. Mello, what's up? And I think Conor's going to land on him. Like he'll trap Shakur and he's going to go to the body. You know what I'm saying? Change levels. That's going to be a difficult fight for him. Very difficult fight. Marquevian Black, what's up, family? If Shakur is 135, Ben will be much bigger at 147. Especially at 54?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be a lot bigger than Shakur. And Shakur's not a big puncher, so he can't keep – what is he going – he can't pot shot Conor Benn for 12 rounds. No, sir. You're going to have to sit down. You're going to have to fight. He's going to close the distance. Look how he was doing it with Chris Eubanks. And Chris Eubanks' power is for his size. He's not the biggest puncher, but that dude got power.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Chris Eubanks ain't the biggest puncher, but he got power. You know what I'm saying? Especially for a guy that's fighting at 68, rehydrated to at least 180 pounds. Man, that's a problem.
That's what I needed.
You know what I'm saying? What you eating? Peanuts?
Yeah, I was eating some trail mix peanuts.
Oh, that's the joint you had when you was at the
favorite, bro. That trail mix, that's fire, bro. High protein and delicious.
What's in it? What's in your trail mix?
I gotta read the ingredients, but it's like the peanuts, these the sesame sticks, they got some toffee something in there, and it's Cajun mix. It's got like a Cajun season on it. I don't know, there's a couple different things in there, man. I just finished it. So the bag is over there in the pantry. But it's got a bunch of stuff in it. I love it though. Conor is an undisciplined 147 fighter. He's quicker than your normal 154 fighter. I think, listen, it would probably be like damn near 50-50 fight, or I would say 60-40. I'd give it to Shakur. I just always, I give a lot of credit to that boxing IQ and ability to take advantage of what I saw was Conor Benn, whose boxing IQ wasn't on the stage, right? It wasn't on stage against Chris Eubank. He was just showing the heart and swinging for the bleachers, hitting them with some shots, and he wasn't really, shorting his punches up and attacking that body properly and certain things that, he wasn't adjusting properly. I think Shakur is going to offer him all the migraines he can give him, having him think and figure out how to cut that ring and make him count, make it count and things of that nature. I'm leaning towards Shakur to win that fight. But I think Conor Benn definitely has more than a puncher's chance, but a puncher's chance at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely sleep that boy, 100%.
It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Shakur Zepeda fight, though, man, because finally we see Shakur with a fighter that's going to be able to test him in a way to where we can gauge who Shakur is at 135 and maybe even foresee what he'll look like at 140. Because I think Zepeda just checks the boxes. A lot of punch output, decent puncher, aggression, great conditioning, can last. You know what I'm saying? And if Shakur stops Zepeda, let's say, 6 to 8 rounds, Shakur leaves no doubt. Like, he removes all doubt from what he's here to do. And if he's able to do it and have healthy hands at the end of the fight, he stops Zepeda and at the end of the fight be like, my hands feel great, man. I'm like, oh, that surgery worked, because there is a chance that surgery just didn't heal completely yet when he fought Josh Padley, and that he could be in a better place right now than he was that night with Josh Padley, because he came back very quickly after that surgery. He didn't really allow that therapy, that physical therapy to kick in. I'm saying he didn't allow that real healing time he needed for them hands to be where they need to be.
Mm-hmm. So, I and again, this is no slight disrespect to Williams Zepeda, but I think his style is tailor-made for Shakur, and I think that Shakur is going to paint Williams Zepeda a pretty picture, on his face. You know what I mean? I just think he
and
is.
Them ribs. Them ribs can be red. Them ribs, Zepeda's ribs are going to be nice and red.
Yeah, he's going to change levels on them. And he's just going to paint a pretty picture on Williams Zepeda. I just believe that, you know what I mean? So it, and I hate to say what's next, because we always know in the sport of boxing, anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I just think that he's gonna dominate Williams Zepeda.
I agree.
He's gonna dominate Williams Zepeda.
I expect him to.
Yeah, 1,000%. So everybody's pushing. Now, I'm going to explain this. There's a strong possibility that we could see Rolly versus Devin on Terrence Crawford Canelo's undercard.
Right.
Third Simple NSU, what's up? I've talked about this to nausea. I think that I want to see Ryan get back. I don't want to see the rematch right now.
Right.
And the reason I don't want to see the rematch right now is because Ryan's stock has taken a massive hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, roll 1084. It's on the table. Ryan's stock has taken a massive hit. And Devin still have questions to answer to itself. Was it the worst performance in the world like people would lead you to believe? No. But you just saw a lot to be desired, right? Like you can clearly see that there's spots that Devin can improve, and Devin can do better. Obviously, we just you know what I'm saying. There's no denying that, right? We can clearly see that, and so because of the way Devin was treated, in my opinion, with the Ryan Garcia situation, I want to see him get his credit for beating Ryan full strength. You know what I'm saying? No excuses. I don't want people to be like, yeah, well, Ryan wasn't the same guy, and we seen Ryan. No, I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. Don't want to see none of that. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not interested in seeing a rematch right now, because for one, I think that Devin has some questions to answer to himself. And I think that Ryan needs to do something, man. He needs to do something to get his stock back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel that way. Juice Man, brother in the super chat, he said, I feel Shakur is setting to be good at 135, none more.
Settling to be good, yeah.
Oh, settling, I'm sorry. Oh, settling to be good at 135. I don't think so. I think that Shakur is willing to explore options to be great. You know what I'm saying? I do think that, you know what I mean, he does have he's in a bit of complacency because of situations with Tank, right? Where Tank just ain't trying to fight him and so on and so forth. So it kind of took pressure off him, if that makes sense. Yeah. Right? There's pressure taken off him. Too fit to quit, brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. Devin flying like a butterfly, but he ain't stinging like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. Yeah, well, he, again, like I said, like, he has questions to answer. You know what I'm saying? There's no if and or buts about that. You know what I'm saying? But Big Herm, what's up?
You see Just Do?
No, what he said, Shakur already got calls to fight both Gary Anton Russell and Sabril Matias at 140. Oh, okay. I don't know about the Anton Russell situation, because Gary Russell Jr., who's running things with them, he said he's not letting that happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he changed his mind or whatever.
And he say that. I know. I interviewed him, and he kind of said that too. I interviewed him on my show, and he didn't say that he wasn't going to let it happen. He says he doesn't want to see it happen. He's not interested, because he says Shakur and them
like family to them.
Yeah, they're like family. Yeah, he says he doesn't want to see it happen.
Yeah,
y'all check out my interview I had with Gary about a month ago. It was a good one. It was about a damn near hour long, bro. We talked about a lot of stuff, but that was definitely something we talked about.
Yeah, I seen it on your channel, and I also seen it on damn. It was yours, and it was somebody else he was on. And I was like, yeah, he's not
yeah, he said he doesn't want to see it. He said he doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to see nothing like that happen. But he said he can get it though. He said he could get it though.
Yeah, he ain't gonna pursue it. You know what I'm saying? He don't want it, you know what I mean? But I guess it is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Just Do.
It is what it is. But back to the subject at hand, right? So like I was saying, right, Clay, I would much rather see Devin get the Rolly fight. You know, and again, this is no slight, no disrespect to Rolly, but Rolly still got questions to answer. Let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? And I think that I would much rather see Rolly and Devin get it on. And Jamal Charlo, he just said the same thing, where you had Ellie Setback hating again. I don't know how fighters allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? If he could do it to another fighter, what makes you think he won't do it to you? But nonetheless, Jamal Charlo is telling Rolly, you need to fight Devin Haney. Did you see that?
Wait, Joe, who said it?
Jamal Charlo. He's telling Rolly at the press conference today.
Oh, I didn't see the press conference yet.
Okay, Rolly was at the press conference, and Rolly's talking about, I think I want to fight Manny Pacquiao, whatever. And he's like, nah, man, you need to fight Devin Haney. He said, if Devin Haney, he said if Devin Haney is washed like everybody's saying he is, you beat Ryan the way you beat Ryan. If you could do that to Devin, your stock is going to go up and your money's going to go up. That's what Jamal told him. I'm going to play it for you in a second.
He's right.
Let me find it. Salute to Robert Chandler, brother, in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on the super chat. He said, my biggest issue is that Dev fight hated the game plan from his corner. What are y'all thoughts on his corner moving forward in big fight? So, Robert Chandler, it's not the game plan. They can't make Devin fight.
Right.
They can only advise him. You know what I'm saying? Bill was telling him the right thing. Freeze him and counter him. But he freezed him, but he didn't counter him. That's not Bill. You know what I'm saying? What can Bill do? He can only advise him, bro. Freeze him, put him in place, counter him. Dev did it in spurts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he did it. You saw the ability. He could have chopped Jose Ramirez up if he wanted to. You could see it. You could see it. Bill told him to. He just didn't do it. There's nothing he could do about that. You know what I'm saying? But what's your thoughts on that, Clay? Let me find that video.
Okay. Definitely, I agree. I can only add to that, right? Agree, double down on that, and say that, nah, man, the corner work is looking good. I think Devin's building a good team around him. I think the addition of Shane Mosley, Nate Jones, those guys, you know what I'm saying? You know, obviously his father and Bill Haney. I think they got a good team, you know, going into the big fights. But I think it's all about Devin Haney's confidence, you know what I mean, and his confidence to bet on himself and bet on his speed and bet on his ability to take punches and give punches and make people miss and take chances, you know, take risk in the fight that are going to, you know, be worthwhile risk at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. So does he need to make changes in his corner, or is he getting bad instructions? I don't think so. And we can't act like Devin didn't win that fight handily. You know what I mean? Win every single round damn near that fight. So, you know, what shots can we really throw at his instructions, the instructions he was receiving, or out of the preparation he had going into the fight, being that it got him a unanimous decision in the way he did get that decision. But at the end of the day, like Blue said, this is about Devin's comfort zone and him being comfortable enough to, you know, take a leap out on faith on himself, bet on himself, and put his best foot forward and take some you know, well-calculated risk during the fight to push the action. You know what I mean? Without a doubt. What we got going on in the chat? Bill have game. Yeah, that's what I thought too, man. Only one fame. Yo, what's good, Blue? What's good? Only one fame, but Big Sarge. Casuals. Y'all wouldn't want Dev versus a real opponent versus Rolly, though. Y'all wouldn't want Dev versus a real opponent versus Rolly, though. I mean, Rolly just beat Ryan Garcia, right? He's holding some sort of an interim or a regular WBA title right now. Man, he's a champion, right? That's a good fight for Devin. You know what I mean? That's a good fight for Devin. Straight up. You know? That's a good fight for Devin. I think that fight be a good fight for Devin, and then we get to see if Rolly's really the truth, because I question, and I have questions. I don't know how Blue feels about it. How much should we rate Rolly after a fight with Ryan Garcia? Does Rolly become somebody we never thought he was, or was Rolly kind of destined to beat somebody who wasn't on Osterine, who hasn't been, you know what I'm saying, getting better as a fighter, you know what I mean, who didn't put that much effort in the fight, wasn't letting his hands go, wasn't pressing the fight the way people wanted to see him press it? Was Rolly just in the right place at the right time and catching the right Ryan Garcia, or getting in a fight with somebody who the public hyped up in Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia really didn't deserve the accolades we gave him? We don't know. I think the story makes more sense later on when he fights a Devin Haney or somebody at a high caliber like that, like a Brian Norman, or I would say Jerron Butenis, but I think Jerron would just wash him. But, you know, he's a champion. He's holding it. He has, you know, he has mandatories. I think, you know, he has that WBA regular belt. Boots is sitting on the super belt. I'm assuming that makes sense as well. So I think the ruling's out on Rolly Romero. Like, we're gonna celebrate him for what he did and give him his respect. But has he all of a sudden become one of those guys? I don't know. Blue Blood and Clay was good. 202 checking in. What's good, chat? What's good, Southeast? What's good, family? T.O. versus Devin would be a great fight. I think so. Though T.O. had time to get his stuff together after the Kambosos fight. Yeah, I think T.O. versus Devin is a great fight as well. For sure. But Ryan isn't really a great boxer, though, in my opinion. Yeah, only one fame. See, that's what I was saying. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. How do you guys feel about Raymond Mortala and Zaur Abdullaev this weekend for that vacant IBF title at 135? You know what I'm saying? I think most people are probably favoring Raymond Mortala, but I know Zaur Abdullaev is really game. Those Eastern Europeans, I think, I ain't going to lie to you. I think it's a 50-50 fight straight up. I think Zaur Abdullaev might legitimately win this fight. Because I think Raymond Mortala is good, but is Raymond Mortala a special fight? I don't know. Is he special? Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is, right? It depends on how you look at it. I've seen him look pedestrian, though. But I've also seen him look really great. Let's see here. Ryan probably going to 154, and Devin might fight T.O., I think. Okay. I've been wanting somebody to fight Raymond at 135. Yeah, well, Zaur Abdullaev is a game opponent, man. Game opponent. 50-50 fight to me, to be honest. 100% only one fame. I'm telling you, Zaur Abdullaev is definitely in it to win it. He's in it to win it, man. And I've seen Raymond Mortala look regular before. I've seen him look great, but I've seen him look regular. Depends on which Raymond Mortala shows up in that ring. It really does. It really does. I've seen him look very regular. Against Tevin Farmer, he looked regular to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I still think I'll squeeze out and give him the win. Pause, you know what I'm saying? I said squeeze it out, but Tevin was getting with him. Let me see. The GOAT says, I want Devin versus Ryan more than Devin versus T.O. Okay.
All right, so I found it. So check it out.
Mm-hmm. Ryan, no one wants to see Haney fight. Yeah, but if Rolly wash him, then it's like, yeah, he wash. Like, if you do what you just did to Ryan, to Haney, that make a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of money. On top of that, like,
listen how Elliot's hating.
Pacquiao just getting back, bro. You're not talking about Pacquiao. I mean, that's gonna be some good money fight because everybody gonna watch it. But as far as legacy wise, I would say go back and stop Dev.
Him and Broner is a bigger fight than him and Devin.
No, bro.
Hell no.
This dude is a hater to the third degree.
Ellie, man, what are you talking about? Him and Broner's a bigger fight. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, because that's what he really afford division. That's what he really wanted. Try to be a fourth division.
Ellie setback, bro. Disappointing to say the least. What?
This nigga's he's disgusting, bro.
No one wants to see Haney fight.
You want to see Adrian fight that bad? Respectfully.
No. Who's saying they want to see Adrian fight? Nobody.
Yeah. Devin got a machine behind him to make the money. Of course, Rolly should fight Devin. Right now, he should fight Devin more than ever, being that Devin might be having that PTSD and might be gunshot. He's a time to fight him.
If Rolly wash him, then it's like, yeah, he wash. Like, if you do what you just did to Ryan, to Haney, that make a lot of sense. You know?
It's so Jamal is trying to tell him it makes sense to fight Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's telling him.
Yeah, but if Rolly wash him, then it's like, yeah, he wash. Like, if you do what you just did to Ryan, to Haney, that make a lot of sense. Yeah, but if Rolly wash him, then it's like, Yeah, he was. Like, if you do what you just did to Ryan, to Haney, that make a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of money. On top of that, like, Pacquiao just getting back, bro. You're not talking about Pacquiao. I mean, that's going to be some good money fight because everybody going to watch it. But as far as legacy-wise, I would say go back and stop Dev.
Him and Broner is a bigger fight than him and Devin.
No, bro. Dev, I say Dev or
Devontae rematch?
Devontae.
I don't have Jamal just like, was that Jamal or Jamel? Jamal, right?
That's Jamal at the press conference today.
Yeah, Jamal just was like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, bro.
Yeah, like,
hating,
bro, what the hell are you talking about?
You a hater, bro. That sounded dumb as hell, bro.
That sounds dumb.
Adrian is a bigger fight? Why? Don King's paying out big bags or something for Adrian to fight people? I don't understand.
Yeah, like Adrian is a bigger fight. Man, shut up, man. You sound stupid.
World? What planet did that make any sense?
None.
I'd love to explain that. Sell that to me. Tell me why.
That was just dumb and ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro.
And then you want people not to call you a hater, bro. What the hell? You either a hater or you don't know nothing about boxing. Which one is it gonna be? You pick your poison.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like how do people allow this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like how do you allow that? You feel me, Clay? Like, bro, this is what's wrong with boxing. How is this dude going to press conferences and stuff and he's saying stuff like that? How?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
crazy, bro. Like, you are a problem for the sport. You understand what I'm saying? Like, salute to Solo and it, brother in the super chat, dropping that half a dub on us in the super chat. How do you feel about Bob? You know what I'm saying? Turkey giving these big payouts is discouraging fighters to perform better for the fans. Can't lie, that top rank card on Sunday was more enjoyable. Anyway, put on. Again, so let me say this, right? Solo, it's not what was the better card? The better card was Turkey card. The better performances was top rank card.
You mean the better on paper card, like the better like, fights?
Yeah, the better card, the better fights was Turkey card. The fighters didn't perform. No, the better card itself was Turkey's card. They just didn't perform.
So wait, hold on. So you feel like Teofimo versus Arnold Barboza, Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez, and Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero was better than Rafael Espinosa, Emiliano Vargas, Rohan Polanco, and Inoue.
Who did they fight?
I mean, I feel you, but I think the fights,
the fighters that these fighters fought was champions or contenders.
Right. Yeah, I'll say that the Turkey card was a more pay-per-view worthy card.
Arnold Barboza is an undefeated contender.
Right,
he just didn't
perform. That's one fight that made more sense to me. But Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez
Jose Ramirez is better than anybody on that card, accomplishment-wise, other than Inoue.
Yeah.
Devin didn't perform up the standards and he didn't. Right?
Yeah, I think if they would have fought, it would have been the better card. I think those guys were supposed to fight each other.
They were supposed. That's what I'm saying. The fights didn't live up to the fighters.
Right.
Didn't do what they supposed to do. Right. Rolly Romero is always exciting. Win, lose, or draw. The Pitbull fight was exciting. The Barroso fight exciting. The Tank fight exciting. He got washed by them.
Yeah.
Right? And then Ryan didn't come to fight.
Yeah.
He got dropped and he put the gun back in the holster. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not
true. What do you think about what he's saying about the payouts though, being part of the issue?
But when you got that type of namesake, you got to pay. You feel me? Like those dudes is
but if it wasn't for Turkey, would those dudes have gotten paid the way they got paid? You know what I mean? If Turkey wasn't involved in it, let's say
because boxing robs the fighters. for their accomplishments, they deserve to be paid.
Paid
Think about
what?
this. Jose Ramirez.
What?
Jose Ramirez unified the belts, fought Josh Taylor. He lost to Barboza. These dudes is accomplished. Rolly got knocked out by Tank.
What did he get paid to fight Arnold Barboza on that Golden Boy card? That was a Riyadh card. He got paid some big money for that.
Who?
When Arnold Barboza fought Jose Ramirez, that was on that Riyadh Latin Night card. How much he got paid for that?
No, he didn't get paid out. But that's what I'm saying. Because they're getting robbed. You feel me?
But that was on a Riyadh card.
No. What I'm just saying in general, right?
Okay.
If Turkey's going for where they was, I'm pretty sure he was going based off of what they've been paid in the past. You know what I'm saying? What their standard was. Now he upped it when he fighting the likes of Devin and Teofimo, right?
Okay.
But what I'm saying is because of the sport don't compensate these fighters correctly. We so used to them getting underpaid that we like, man, this dude shouldn't have got. But the facts remains is that you talking like who knew Cardenas? Cardenas just happened to put up a great fight against Inoue and drop Inoue.
Right.
Then nobody knew who Cardenas, and Inoue kept coming. The difference between Inoue fight and Cardenas is you didn't know who Cardenas was.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He never accomplished anything. And Inoue kept coming. Rolly dropped Ryan in the second round like Inoue got dropped. Ryan didn't keep coming.
So why didn't they keep coming?
Because I think because he didn't have the confidence without the Ostarine, and his stamina wasn't there, so he put it like Conde in cruise control. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think the understanding that his bag was locked in, he was making all that. You don't think that the motivation, the vested interest in you don't okay on the opposite side of the conversation, you don't think Cardenas making a name for himself and trying to raise his market value is why he committed to fighting the way he did?
Of course, but that's in anything. That's in any walk of life. I mean, Marvin Hagler didn't tell us that for no reason.
So there's a balance, though. There's a balance that's needed.
But it's impossible. It's impossible because
is it? I mean,
let me tell you why it's impossible, right? I can't pay. You Tank could be in cruise control. I can't pay Tank. Hey, I'm gonna pay you pennies so I can get the best fight out of you. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, some guys. What do we praise Floyd Mayweather for? What? Having $1 billion and still training like he don't have $1. Right? What do Tim Bradley, all these dudes, Zab Judah, what they always say? That dude trained like he ain't got $1 in his bank.
Yeah, Jay Prince was just talking about him in an interview right now with Andre Ward, saying that dude, the way he trained, he said that work ethic is unmatched.
And Andre Ward didn't even train like that.
Right.
And he wasn't getting the bag. So we praise Floyd Mayweather for doing that. It's hard to do that because this is a poor man's sport.
Exactly.
But you best believe, though, right? You got to believe. Okay, for instance, Rolly got the bag. We seen the best version of Rolly we ever seen.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, right?
We got to factor in.
Well, Rolly's driven though, legacy driven. He says, "I fight for belts." He'll tell you, "I don't fight for money." So
it's it's the mentality of each individual. Like, we can't measure that.
You don't think it's a culture though of the sport in America?
No, look at Deontay Wilder. He was getting $30 million. Right now, he can ready to fight again because he just he can't give it up. So it's the
mentality. But he didn't commit to the sport. He didn't commit to training and becoming a better fighter and boxing. He's the one who said that he don't need to be nice. He only need to be nice for one moment, while everybody else has to be nice.
But that was because he fell in love with his power. That wasn't because when you got that type of.
Mark Breland said he had a horrible work ethic.
Yeah, but no, that's not true.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I've been in 4 Deontay Wilder camps. That dude, he worked hard. He just don't work. He don't do what people, the tradition, right? He don't run. He swims in the pond. You know what I'm saying? Which is a live pond, like not a pool. He swims full laps in the pond. He built his whole backyard into a mountain that he runs up. That mountain is so big, we got to take an elevator up and down. He runs it with a weighted vest. So when people say that, it's just, is he as technical as everybody else? No. And did he fall in love with his power? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Where he worked on the fundamentals.
What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is there are pros and cons to everything, right? And fighters always need that motivation, that vested interest in putting it all on the line and fighting. You know, the culture in America, the American space right now in boxing over the past couple of years has been a lot of political, stylistically favorable, cherry picking, artificially building fighters up culture and energy. And fighters in the past 20 years haven't been developing the way, in the past 10 plus years haven't been developing in the way that I believe they should be developing. And I think that has a lot to do with the best not fighting the best. I believe the way that matchmaking has been made has stunted the growth and the development of the American boxer. So I think the question is legitimate to say that, you know, when you look at, for example, in the UK, they paid Conor Benn and Chris Eubank who knows how much money. I'm sure a large amount, millions of dollars. Them dudes almost tried to kill each other in the ring. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking at Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua, when you're looking at Nick Ball, the way he fights, when you look at all these fighters that look at Caleb Smith, the way he came back when he had the opportunity. Look at I mean, you can go down a list of fighters who have showed out for the opportunity where the money doesn't take away their commitment or their motivation to fight in the ring. They actually want to fight even more now because now they can make the money. And I think that's because the community in the UK supports boxing in a certain way. I think over here, the way I think a Devin Haney, for example, makes his money and doesn't fight as hard as he could fight because the fans are so toxic towards him and he's making the money anyway. So why should I put my ass on the line? You know what I'm saying? When I could just win this fight this way and make it to the next step and go into this Ryan Garcia fight and make a bunch more money. And I think Ryan Garcia at the same time doubles down on the antics, doubles down on the outside BS instead of doubling down in the gym and getting better and getting nicer and training and becoming a better fighter. What you've seen, Ryan Garcia is a fighter who stopped developing probably since the Luke Campbell fight, right? He just hasn't gotten better.
I'm going to tell you why I disagree, right? Mm-hmm. Devin moved his whole camp and his whole life to California to go exclusively in Big Bear, train in the mountains, bring in Shane Mosley, bring in Nate Jones to bet himself. Mm-hmm. What we saw in the ring mentally is something different. You understand? It's like it's not like he's in a comfort zone. He's not confident in himself to take a punch in the ring yet, right? To get back to what he was when he fought Lenore. We got to factor in. Devin Haney is the second highest paid fighter behind Tank Davis in the lower weight classes. Obviously, Canelo and Joshua and so on and so forth. Behind Tank in the lower weight classes, Devin Haney is the second highest paid fighter. He's been that for years. Mm-hmm. So when he fought Jorge Linares, when he fought Loma, he's been the second highest paid fighter in those weight classes for years. And he showed improvement. It's just the punishment he took from Ryan that altered his mindset. In the case of Ryan, he's never been committed to the sport because, again, this is the misunderstanding that people say, like, oh, they gave the bag. Ryan was getting the bag before boxing. That's why he was never committed to boxing, because he was a social media star to begin with. He was never committed to the boxing. That's why he always said, hey, I don't care about belts. He never talked about belts from the very beginning, right? But now Ryan may not commit, but Ryan will fight any and everybody, right? He took that fight with Tank. He said even Floyd was like, don't take the fight with Devin Haney, tried to deter him. He took the fight. He took the fight with Rolly. You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, like I said, the product itself didn't live up. So now hindsight, we like, hey, top rank card. No, top rank card was not better. It exceeded expectations. It was better in excitement.
Yeah.
But when you saw not a single person when we saw the layout of the two fights was like, this top rank card is better than that card. Ain't no way in hell.
No, it's not. But I think there's a legitimate question and argument as far as like that's why I named the episode I did on Tuesday. I called the King's disease, right? Listen, man, the cat's out the bag. You know what I'm saying? A lot of to the point where a lot of these American, boxing content creators who call themselves like only supporting this style of this space of boxing will say, yo, man, you going over there to fight on a Turkey card, you going over there to lose, man. Turkey's setting people up. Why? Because there's a consistent thing being exposed right now. Fighters are being exposed. And I'm not saying that happened to Devin necessarily and that happened to Ryan necessarily. But what I am saying is fighters get better based off of their activity and based off of the competition. And you know what I'm saying, that they're fighting. They find competitive, best fighting the best type of energy. That's how they get better. That's how they develop and get better. Right. When you got inactive fighters who are only fighting once, twice a year, and when they're fighting, they're not fighting the best. Like Ryan, I'm not putting Haney in this category because Haney always fights the best. He just recently tapped into that bag of playing around.
But Ryan does too. So what I'm saying is,
who's Ryan fight that's the best? Tank and Devin. Who else?
He fought Devin. He fought Tank. He fought Rolly. Now he fight. You know what I'm saying? You put
Rolly
him in
wasn't the best until that night.
I mean, what I'm saying is, you put who did he turn down?
It's not about who he turned down. It's about the inactivity. It's about he didn't fight. He fought Oscar Duarte. He stayed out of the game for a year and said he had mental health.
But remember, when he fought Oscar Duarte, he was trying to fight Isaac Cruz, and they turned it down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he
still didn't fight though.
And again, he's never from the beginning before he got paid the turkey bag. He always told us from the beginning he wasn't interested in legacy. So it's not something new with Ryan. He told us who he was from the beginning.
He wanted money. He's a prize fighter.
That's it. But he told us because why? Because he made the bag before he even started boxing.
Does being a prize fighter get you to be a better fighter?
Floyd, so what I'm saying is this, right? In any walk of life, right? We can't keep people at a certain level because their hunger might go away. So it's like in the NFL, we always have these issues in everything, right? In the NFL, it's like you see players play extremely hard when they're on contract years. Once they get the bag, their performance take a dip.
That's what I'm trying to say. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying when these fighters start getting these big bags of money before they've even really earned anything, is this something that Turkey needs to be aware of and conscious of when he's putting these fights together, these big fights together, specifically, in my personal opinion, in America?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, what my pushback to it is that we don't have no proof of it, right? Like Terrence Crawford ain't not fighting hard, and he getting the bag.
Right, but he came from fighting hard. He didn't get the bag up front early. He had to earn. He became,
but he was getting a guaranteed purse that was bigger than everybody else. He was getting 3.5 guaranteed on
and then top rank.
Yeah, right, 3.5 guaranteed. So Bud been getting the bag, and when you look at his level hasn't changed, right? Anthony Joshua, his commitment hasn't changed. He done came to the States to try to get better, went back to the UK. He's been getting the bag. Right. So there's no proof of that. Canelo Alvarez has been getting the bag. This dude ain't stopped. He has his limitations. So people looked at the Canelo fight with Skull and be like, see, he got the bag. That nigga never performed. He couldn't. That style has always been a problem for him. When he fought Lara, that's been a problem for him. When he fought Floyd, that's been a problem for him. When he fought Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant, the first half of the fight, that's always been a problem. William Skull kept moving. That's been a problem for him. In the case of Devin Haney mentally is suffering from the effects of the Ryan Garcia fight. That's why he moved around so much. It wasn't because he got the bag and like, yeah, let me just get to the Ryan rematch. No, it's because he wasn't confident in himself to exchange and counterpunch because of the lingering effects from the Ryan fight. Ryan himself has been who Ryan is from the beginning. So we can't say the bag has changed him because he's been that way from the beginning. Right?
About the money. So Ryan is always told he's a social media star. That's why he always say, I make these fights big because of my status outside of boxing. So there's no
what I'm saying is there's no evidence that these fighters are not fighting hard. Anyway, he gets the bag.
Yeah, but he's not American.
He's not American, but he lays it all on the line. So
right.
Again,
you'll see that in the UK, you'll see that in Japan, you see that with the U6 of the game, the Lomachenkos.
But we got to say, what American fighters took their foot off the gas when they got paid?
I mean, this card this weekend was crazy.
But that's what I'm saying.
Both the cards are crazy. These guys didn't fight.
Yeah, but again, it's not because of the bag. It's because of who they are. They've been this way. Devin Haney has been a pure boxer. People been saying he was boring. This ain't nothing new. He just didn't, in this fight, he just didn't want to engage even more so than in the past. Remember that.
Why did he want? I understand you saying the PTSD, but you don't think
the mental, right? Look at the performance. He had the same performance against Gamboa.
You don't think protecting that fight with Ryan Garcia played its part?
No, he didn't want to get hit and hurt. Had nothing to do with Ryan Garcia rematch. He didn't want to get hit and hurt. Mentally, he was thinking. You seen when the first time he got touched by Ramirez, he grabbed his waist, slid down his waist like he did with Ryan. That was mental, lingering effects.
I mean, listen, man.
Rolly just got the biggest bag in his career.
Argument. I think it's an argument that we'll never really know the answer to because at the end of the day, we're not in their heads. We don't know. But I think when you get a performance like you did on Friday, I think it's a legitimate argument to be like, yo, these dudes, are they being overpaid? You know what I'm saying? And not only are they being overpaid, but the whole entire planning them 2-3 fights ahead, being like, after this fight, you win this fight, we're going to give you this fight. And, you know, you already penned it out in a certain way. Does that kind of like give the fighter, take away some of the motivation the fighter has to put it on the line?
No, if anything, it's incentive to fight harder because of what the carrot that's being dangled at the end of the rainbow.
I don't think so. If I know that I have a bigger fight, next fight, a locked in for me, if I know, even if let's just say, forget about the money for a second, right? Let's say that this fight I got coming up right now, that I have a guaranteed championship fight next, right? The only thing that can ruin me getting into that fight is me losing this fight. I will become a more reserved fighter. I will protect my win a lot more. I will not risk losing my opportunity by committing to anything in particular. I will be more concerned about the win than the performance because I already know my reward is there on the back end of a win, no matter what the performance is. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's an argument to say that the way that Turkey's approaching it is fun for the fans. We like to see the fights on paper getting put together. But when you get a result like you did, you have to ask yourself a little bit like, is the planning ahead? And like I said, I'm being real with it. And I'm saying it's the American boxing culture because I believe that this was a UK situation. I just think they fight harder naturally. I think the stadiums pack out 60,000+, 90,000+ people to see them fight. I think there's a certain love and a passion that for I think the pugilism is still regarded at a high level in the UK. But I believe in America, boxing has been on a down trajectory for a while. I think the competitive nature of the sport has taken a blow based off the politics of promoters and across the street politics. And I think fighters are way more paranoid of losing their O's. They want to stay undefeated as long as they can because they believe that the space is going to turn on them. Fighters don't get celebrated enough for fighting their hearts out. If they take L's, their market values take huge blows. Opportunities are hard to find because the boxing space is all centered around a handful of fighters that they decide to make the stars. And I think when you get into an opportunity like this with a Turkey Alalshikh, old habits are hard to break, and you become a little bit, you know, the B sides, which is what I like to look at it as, except for like maybe a Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia right now. But the B sides are more protective over like, yo, man, I need to protect this opportunity because I don't get the love. So, you know, the money might go away. People might not want to F with me. Turkey's notoriously known for not doing that. If you take an L and you fight your heart out, you'll be on his next card. because he loves that energy. He'll put you right back into another opportunity. Josh Padley, you know what I'm saying, got blessed and jumped right into an opportunity, got a deal off of getting stopped by Shakur Stevenson. Conor Benn is being celebrated for his performance against Chris Eubank. You know what I mean? Like, this is the culture over there and how boxing
right.
is.
But also too,
but over here,
look at the performances that Beterbiev and Bivol put on. Everybody said was boring. Beterbiev in the first half of the first fight did nothing. He did nothing.
Beterbiev?
Yeah, Beterbiev in the first fight.
The first fight, you saying for the first half he did nothing?
But
that's strategy. That's not about money. That's about preserving energy.
But we can't say
he had an injury on his knee that he had to kind of.
We can't say a strategy when it's him. But then when it's the American fighters doing it, we like, oh, what
American fighter did that?
None. But that's what I'm saying. Like, for Devin to move around like that, it's mental, right? It's PTSD. It's not the bag, because he's been getting the bag.
But if you don't think it's a legitimate argument, I'm not saying it's right one way or another, but is somebody really wrong for questioning Devin Haney's motivation to fight like that? Knowing it's already been written for him to be doing.
If Devin fought like that, if we never seen Devin fight like that, that's an argument.
We've seen Devin throw that low amount of punches and dance and run around the ring like that.
You watched that Gamboa fight?
I gotta recap it because I don't remember seeing as
somebody tell me his punch. I don't remember his punch stats, but remember Tank and everybody was posting out like this. How boring this dude! The Gamboa fight he had. That's why he fought the way he fought against Linares. I don't remember the punch stats, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot, right? Remember they did it. He did. Remember they did what network was it? I want to say it was HBO or ESPN. Remember they said they started doing keeping a stat on how many times Devin Haney was holding and clinching. Remember, and that's why Aki TV was doing the videos like we ain't never had them ever bring up a stat talking about how many times a fighter clinch and hold. Because they was talking about how boring. Look at Shakur Stevenson output against Edwin Dos Santos, and Edwin Dos Santos returned the favor. It wasn't like he went balls to walls. You know what I'm saying? Shakur, we know he had an injured hand. What was Edwin Dos Santos' reasoning? You understand what I'm saying? Like, so we see, again, do you have a legit argument? Absolutely, because we've seen this in sports universal, right? You get the bag, people fall off, right? But what I'm saying is, in this case, with this card, I can't say that because I didn't see a change in everybody without a reasoning other than the bag. If Devin Haney didn't have that fight with Ryan Garcia and he didn't have fights in the past that was deemed to be the most boring, put to sleep fights in history, right? Then I would say, hey, he put it in cruise control so he could get to secure that bag that he knew he had waiting. But I've seen him do this before in the past, and I've seen what happened with him with Ryan. In Ryan's case, we know he ain't on the Austrian no more. We know that you know his physique looked completely different than we accustomed to seeing in the Devin fight, and we ain't never seen Rolly fight that discipline and glue that right hand to his face that actually deter me and you talked about this when we did the breakdown on your channel, right? When have we always seen Ryan have these holes. We never seen somebody stay disciplined, not even Devin, for 12 rounds where Ryan never lands the left hook. Oscar Duarte had the success, but he made the mistake. He got caught the left hook. Wow. Devin made the mistake. He got dropped 3 times. And in that first round, as soon as the first minute started, he got caught immediately with the left hook, right? And did like this, right? Tank Davis, he was aggressive. He got clean, but he knew he had the built-in excuse. If I get knocked out, I had the rehydration clause, the temp. Remember before the fight with Tank, he kept saying they wouldn't let me eat. They wouldn't let me do this. He was building in an excuse. That's why he was so aggressive, right? So, and Tank didn't allow him to catch him, and then Tank knocked him out. But Luke Campbell dropped him with the left hook, same round, same thing. 100%. And what did Luke Campbell do? As he's winning the fight, he got undisciplined.
Got clipped in the bottom shot. Nasty left right there to the liver. Boom.
And then got caught with the right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What Rolly did was unexpected.
But what motivated Rolly? Don't you think the adversity, the people questioning him even having a chance, the odds, like he had something to fight for. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what we fail to realize. We don't take this into consideration. Rolly got washed by Isaac Cruz, and he arguably lost to Ishmael Barroso. Right? So Rolly was this is my last opportunity.
Right. So he was ready to put it on the line. He was motivated. But that's what I'm saying. I guess at the end of the day, the question is, when these fighters are being paid and what people may consider being overpaid, when Turkey's paying them way more money than they're used to being paid, right? Just to make a statement to say you guys are worth this. And I'm like all for it, right? If you like it, I love it. But motivation is something that is very important in these fighters, especially in a tough fight.
1,000%. 1,000%.
If you should be sure to, I'm sure Turkey has to be considering, like, I don't want to play. Should Turkey be taken into consideration? I don't want to play with these fighters' motivation. I want to motivate them to fight. I want to give them opportunities. But if in turn me overpaying them, as people are saying, is happening, if this is taking away their motivation, if I'm laying them down in silk sheets, like Marvin Hagler said, before they've actually achieved the ultimate goals and challenged themselves, am I doing these guys a favor or a disservice? I don't know the answer to that to be one or the other, but I think after performances and after a situation that happened in Times Square, you put together an event like that, a platform, and you expect the fight to be a certain way. There's got to be some questions about, damn, it does seem like these guys kind of got the free bag. It kind of looked like they got paid and went home.
But that's the easy way out, right? To say like, hey, Turkey overpaid them, so now, the Knicks did it again, bro. They came back again from 20 down.
Wait, Nick J says it all boils down to the fighters, in my opinion. If you a hoe, you a hoe. Money or not. If the style drastically changed, then maybe. But we can't, Nick J. We can't talk about hoes and not talk about money.
Yeah, but no, but that's what I'm saying. If we seen a drastic change from these dudes without a rhyme and reason, other than their bank account went up, then I'd be like, yeah, he put it in cruise control until he gets to until here. You feel me?
Yeah.
But the only person on that card that had a drastic change in their appearance was Rolly. He was the only one. See, and Arnold, right? Barboza. But again, like we said when we was calling the Barboza fight, we seen Barboza getting outboxed. It's just that his opponents made mistakes to allow him to do what? Get back in the fight.
Right.
T.O. didn't allow him to get back in the fight. Right? Yeah. T.O. was like, oh, you can't. Now, again, we agreed. T.O.
was motivated.
But again, T.O. getting the biggest bag he ever got.
Not only the money, but the future bag. See, T.O. is somebody who money motivated because he's been starved so much. The question is, have these guys been getting paid too much already?
But again, T.O. didn't put his foot on the gas.
No, he protected the next fight. But that's what I'm saying. He won the fight. Yeah.
But we can't say he's motivated to because he ain't getting the bag and then say he protected the bag.
There's argument. Okay, but there's an argument to say that T.O. didn't fight as aggressively as we've normally seen him fight based off of him being more reserved. People say that T.O. was more reserved in that fight against Arnold Barboza, that he did what he was supposed to do to win that fight, but he was very aware and conscious of, I'm not going to let nothing stupid happen. I'm going to get this win because my biggest bags are ahead of me, not behind me. I've gone through this with Top Rank and done all this for this opportunity. But he was on it from day one. Everything.
Here's where I disagree, right? Because I've been saying this for years, and you guys know that, you know this, and the people in the chat. I've been saying this. If I could win in second gear, why the hell am I going to third? Yeah. It's up to you. It's up to you. This has been this way. If it's up to you to take me to what do we always see fighters say? You ain't seen the bet. I ain't fight nobody to bring the.
No, you don't have to. That's a fact.
That's what I'm saying. So again, it's always been this way.
He never tried to finish on a Barbosa though, and he normally tries to, you know what I mean? Like he normally tries.
It depends on the fighter.
If Barbosa was slow, he was there to be hit.
If the opportunity presents itself for me to finish you, Barbosa still was game.
That's a fact. He was game.
He wasn't doing nothing, but he still was game. So why am I risking myself getting knocked out? We always say this. It was the dumbest thing that
Devin did.
Chavez for
what?
Why am I brain farting? When Chavez for Jesus Christ. Now I don't want to go to box rack. Remember he was winning the whole fight, and in the last round he let Chavez he got knocked out. It's the same thing that happened with Mickey Bay and what's his name? Oh man, damn, that's ridiculous. I'm straight brain farting right now. Bro, that's crazy. But that's crazy. I'm straight brain farting. But he gave Mickey Bay gave it up in the 12th round. Chavez won the fight in the 12th round because you put yourself in harm's way unnecessarily when you had the fight in the bag. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying when it comes to the Knicks won, bro. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, the Knicks won, bro. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's not necessary for you to do it, don't. Again, for our entertainment, it's cool.
They said Meldrick Taylor.
Meldrick Taylor, thank you. Damn, bro, I was my brain.
Duncan Pender Hughes,
right? Salute to Duncan Pender Hughes. He winning the whole fight.
Exact name. Only the real ones know.
He blew it. He blew it for what?
Yeah.
Right? Mickey Bay. Right? For what? Blew it.
I mean, we're crossing lanes here. We're talking about practical, critical thinking versus the heart of a warrior, right? And putting it all out there. If you're wondering, the answer to that question about why did that guy take that risk is because he had the heart of a warrior, that he was going to go out and he wanted to fight all the way into the end. You know what I mean? Was it the smartest thing for him to do? Clearly from the outside looking in, nah, bro, right? But we're talking about, I've always said that fighters who fight on Turkey's card, one thing I love about Turkey's cards is that the fighters are motivated because they know that if they put on a good performance, win, lose, or draw, they'll get another Turkey opportunity, right? Another Turkey bag down the line. Turkey will show you love for representing. He blessed Nick Ball. When Nick Ball ran it to a draw with Ray Vargas, his next fight was for a championship against Raymond Ford, right? He blessed Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Jarrell Big Baby Miller got, you know what I'm saying, stopped by Daniel Dubois. He was on the next card fighting Andy Ruiz, right? And now, you know, he just fumbled the bag right now because he had a fight that he was going to have with Fabio Wardley. That's another question. But
that's what I'm saying.
Him, right?
Which one of those fighters didn't fight hard?
But here it is. Here comes the twist. The twist is when you're talking about the likes of a Devin Haney, when you're talking about the likes of a Ryan Garcia or Canelo Alvarez, these guys are getting paid already. They're already in there, especially Canelo Alvarez, who's in, like, he better not play that game with Bud, but I welcome him. Please play that game because I can't wait to see Bud. Anyway, I can't wait to see Bud bust that ass. Pause. But that being said, you know what I'm saying? These fighters who you're paying a whole bunch of money to, like a Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia, who are already walking around with $250,000 worth of jewelry around their neck and driving around in, you know, $300,000+ foreign cars and living that lifestyle. And Ryan Garcia, who's, you know, doing whatever he wants to do. You know, when you're paying them all this money and giving them these big deals in advance and letting them know, like, okay, when you beat Rolly, If as long as you don't lose against Rolly, your big bag is gonna be against Devin Haney. And then when you beat Devin Haney, your next bag is gonna be against Tiafimo, or you know what I'm saying, or somebody else that's gonna get you a bunch of money. Do these guys become a little too conscious and aware of the money because they're prize fighters at their hearts, right? They're not Devin is in the air still. He might be a prize fighter right now, though. I'm gonna be real with you. He might not be as legacy driven as prize fighter right now. I still need to see that because he's moved away from the legacy and said, yo, that's what got him in trouble with this Ryan Garcia situation in the first place, because he moved away from the legacy. But I'll say Ryan Garcia is 100% a prize fighter. So does the prize fighter, the guy who's concerned about his money and securing his bag, fight the same way as somebody who's legacy driven, who's fighting for the honor and you know, motivated by the pugilism idea, the thing that they held on to when they were kids and they decided to become boxers, and whatever motivated them. Once they become wealthy, and you compounding it by adding more wealth and giving them upfront game plans is what you're going to do to their wealth. Does that at all mess with, you know what I'm saying, their motivation to fight and leave it all in the ring, like a Monster Inoue did against a Cardenas, or like a Rafael Espinosa did against Vasquez, you know, leaving it all in there, like I'm going to get you out there, or like a Daniel Dubois did against a Jarrell Big Baby Miller, fighting hard all the way into the 10th round when he already had the fight won pretty much, but he didn't give a damn. He was trying to make a statement, right? Knowing that if I beat this guy in a fashion, Turkey's going to facilitate my way through a Philip Ergovich and then get me to an Anthony. You know, all the opportunities are going to open up if I can do it right on this big stage. Those guys had that motivation to do it, but does that skew or mess with the chemistry of a fighter who needs to be dialed in when he's fighting the biggest competition in his biggest fights? Does it or does it not? Can it? I mean, I think it can. I don't think it's an argument for whether it can or it cannot, but I think there's a legitimate argument for people to question. You know, Turkey comes with a lot of pros, a lot of positive things that he brings to the sport, but this money could spoil some fighters rotten or move a fighter's, you know, you watch Jamel Charlo, he went against Canelo Alvarez, got his biggest bag. We ain't heard from him since. You know what I mean? Till recently, you know what I'm saying, on social media. We didn't hear from him. He got his biggest bag and bounced on us. Left that night and let them take his belts and everything. Was an undisputed champion at 154 who was supposed to be fighting Tim Zoom. We had all these plans on seeing him be a greater fighter, and he just left. I don't know. Was it the money? I don't know. Did he get paid too much money? And all of a sudden, he don't need to fight no more? When you got somebody like Bob Arum, who's been in the game as long as he's been in the game, if he's sitting there saying, listen, man, I'm going to tell you straight up, he's speaking from experience. I'm 90 plus years old. You overpay these fighters, you're not going to get them to fight. You know what I'm saying? You got to have it balanced. Even Dana has said it. The fighters are nervous about that. The boxing space is nervous about that. Like Dana bringing these, because at the end of the day, I also want to keep you hungry. There's a certain part of you that I want to keep there that makes a difference in the fight that we're going to get out of you. You know, you just look what happened to Conor McGregor. I don't want to go into MMA, but just to say that this man went from straight up apex predator in the ring with every fighter he fought against, and then got rich after he fought Floyd Mayweather and was getting choked out by Khabib, whatever his name is, getting choked out by Nick Diaz, getting, you know, all these losses. What happened? All of a sudden, he's slapping old people in the bar. He's riding around a Lamborghini.
1,000%. But like you see how you said with Devin Haney, he went away from legacy. No, he went to legacy fighting Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is supposed to be one of the four kings.
He said though, his I don't know. Bill did say that he was focused on the prize fight. That Devin said I was
for sure. Right, but Ryan is a legacy fight though. Ryan is supposed
more legacy than money.
No, he represents both. We can't say that at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like Ryan represents a legacy fight. He's one of the four kings. So Devin took less money. Devin took the B side just to make the fight with Ryan. Ryan is one of the four kings. Don't forget, he was trying to fight Ryan before Ryan. He was trying to fight Ryan before Ryan lost the Tank.
I agree, but when he had just came off of the Regis Prograis fight, he was looking for his next fight. He
tried to do with Tank first.
Right. That was legacy and money.
Right. He tried to fight Tank first. Tank Tank
but
said
Ryan
no.
got beat by Tank and then came off of a weird California fight against Oscar.
We got to factor in. This is what we're not factoring when we say that is that Ryan called Devin out. Devin didn't call out Ryan.
I know. The only reason I know that's what I'm saying, right? Why did Devin take it?
Because it's a legacy fight, namesake wise. One of the four kings. You were one of the four kings. It's me, Ryan, Tank, and Tio. He was trying
to the table.
No, bro. He was trying to fight. He was trying to fight Tio. Tio didn't want to fight him. Tank didn't want to fight him.
Right. Because Ryan already had played with his face and said he was going to fight Rolly instead, and Rolly played Ryan.
And Tio didn't want to fight him. He was
going to fight Ryan at first. The negotiation was there to fight Ryan at first.
No, the first negotiations after Regis was Tank. Tank turned it down. Yes, it was.
No, at 140 pounds, Tank was already playing games. He was locked up.
No. When Dev beat Regis, they got with Turkey. They reached out to see Tank's availability. That's when Tank was dancing in the dark. You don't know who to get in contact with, and all this, so on and so forth.
I agree.
And Turkey was willing to put the bag up to make the fight. Tank didn't want the fight.
Right.
That was after Regis.
That wasn't a legitimate, like, that was what they wanted, but they was nowhere near getting that. What was more realistic?
But that was his goal was to fight Tank, though.
Right, I agree.
Tank didn't make the fight.
Right.
Then he turned his goal to Teofimo Lopez. And Teofimo Lopez.
Yes.
These are two of the this is Bob Arum even confirmed that. So these are two of the four kings. There's only four, and he's one of them. So it's only three left. Right. So he turned his attention to Tio. Tio didn't want to fight.
Right.
So now Devin was saying, let's unify the belts, me and Tio.
Right.
Tio didn't want to unify the belts.
Right. I remember that.
Right? So now he was still looking for an opponent, and Ryan did the live stream saying, I should fight Devin Haney next.
Right. Exactly.
And Devin is like, okay, let's fight.
Right.
So it wasn't like he was looking for the bag. He was looking for, obviously, he a prize fighter and he making a lot of money. But he's looking for Tank first.
Right. Money.
Now Tio unification bout.
Right.
Right. And then Ryan said, let's fight. And he said, let's do it. So it wasn't like he was just searching out for the bag. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he was looking for the legacy fights. Let me unify the belts against Tio. Tio said no. He said, let me fight Tank. Tank didn't, we know the whole situation with that, right? And so he landed on Ryan. And remember, then Ryan even stated that and then what's his name? Damn, I forgot his name. What's the name? Remember, what's the name said that they didn't send the proper money? Sabril Matias.
Right, with that $4 million and the confusion.
Right. So he tried to fight Sabril Matias in a unification. Right.
Right.
They turned it down. So then Ryan knocked on the door and he like, bro, let's do it. Listen, you one of the four kings. He didn't even expect Ryan to fight him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even a question in his mind. And then Ryan,
I know that he didn't pursue Ryan. Ryan 100% pursued him. I know.
And then remember, Ryan did the whole, I'm pulling out. I'm fighting Rolly.
Floyd, he was running with Floyd, and all of a sudden he changed his mind.
I'm fighting Rolly. And then Devin said, I knew this dude was scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving on. And then Ryan came back and was like, oh, I gave y'all my word, X, Y, and Z. I told Floyd
after Rolly played him. But why did he?
Well, it was for
he
legacy.
Said I knew I shouldn't have taken him seriously. Why did he take him seriously the second time?
What you mean?
If Devin responded when Ryan played with his face and said he was going to fight Rolly after that conversation and that run with Floyd Mayweather, when Ryan came back, why did Devin take the fight with Ryan the second time?
Because Oscar was being serious.
Money.
No, Oscar contacted Bill. Oscar contacted Bill and them. Oscar was like, bro, you're not listening to Floyd. remember, Oscar got pissed. He's like, this dude is under contract with me.
Right.
You know, you coming over here, you fighting with, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna fight over here. You got to do what I want. Oscar did that. And Bill was like, bro, okay, let's do it. We're gonna make it happen. Let's make it happen. And then that's when Oscar was like, yo, I don't want to deal. He told Bill, but I don't want to deal with Eddie Hearn. That's why
why did Devin fight Ryan Garcia, even though Ryan Garcia came 3.5 pounds overweight?
I mean, at that point, the fight was already made.
Yeah, but there was some money. Ryan was a money fight.
No. You can't say that. He can't.
It's the day, Ryan was in a money fight?
The day before the fight, I'm going to turn down the fight?
I'm not saying the day before. I'm saying he went through a lot. There was a lot of antics in the building of the fight.
You're not factoring in. They got a history from the amateurs. They fought 6 times in the amateurs. Are
you telling me you don't think the money had anything to do with that fight happening?
Of course we can't, but we can't say that though, because the money plays a part. The money plays a part in everybody's fight.
But Ryan is going to be like one of his first. It was going to build up his market value to give him leverage in negotiations when people talk about he hasn't been a part of a big pay-per-view. He was aiming at sharing that.
No, we can't say that. This
biggest payday.
No, we can't say that because Devin's whole thing from the very beginning has been legacy. When he first became the mandatory for Robert Easter, for Adrian Broner, for Mikey Garcia, he was trying to fight those dudes. Right?
I know, but what Ryan was different, bro. It just was, man. Ryan was about the money, man. No, it was.
We make it. This is what we're doing. We're making Ryan to be a money fight instead of focusing on what Ryan was before we realized he was a money fight. Ryan was a big deal when he got in boxing.
I agree.
As a professional, that's why
the time when him and Devin were negotiating, he was a has-been. The biggest accomplishment he did was he's fought against.
You're not factoring in that, Ryan. But you're not factoring in. Ryan only lost was to Tank with a rehydration clause in the catchweight. Without that, he don't have no losses. Ryan Garcia is still considered a major fight, not just money. That dude is a big deal.
Not just money?
No, how?
Why did Gervonta fight Ryan?
Tank fought Ryan because Ryan called him out for years.
Right, but he wouldn't do it. What made him do it all of a sudden?
He represents both. That's what you're not factoring in.
I'm saying there's some legacy there, right?
It's a lot of legacy and it's money involved.
The most money.
It can't be if the money is not involved if he's not a legacy fight.
Okay, I'll go with that, right? Even though he has that crazy following on social media and he comes with that crazy cult fan base. He has a crazy
got to factor in. He built that off of what he did in the amateurs and social media, hitting the Cobra bag, things of that nature, right? We forget the accomplishments Ryan accomplished in the amateurs. We're talking about Ryan Garcia in the amateurs.
I'm not forgetting. I'm acknowledging all that.
Right. His commitment as a professional is something else. Mm-hmm. Right, that's for a different. That's not Tank fault. That's not T.O. fault. That's not Devin fault. That's his lack of commitment. Right. Let me give you a different example. We had in the heavyweight division, right? Mm-hmm. You had the 3 kings: Wilder, Joshua, Fury. Right. Mm-hmm. Joshua and Wilder is committed. Fury is the clown, like Ryan Garcia. But we can't say that fighting Fury is not a legacy fight because he has clownish behavior, ballooning up to 400 pounds and drinking in a bar and passing out and fighting people. We can't do that.
No, I don't think that's a good comparison.
Huh?
I don't think that's a good comparison. Right. I think Fury was in the conversations of being one of the best heavyweights.
Based off of what?
Ever. Off of fighting Klitschko and you know what I'm saying, becoming a lineal champion.
Okay, so remove the Klitschko fight. Who did he beat?
I'm just off the Klitschko fight alone.
But that's only one fight.
It don't matter. He had he was that.
But outside of that, he's been a sideshow.
Bro, he was undefeated.
Until Wilder Ryan was undefeated. Until Wilder brought him out of retirement.
A lineal champion and Tyson Fury to a undefeated fighter who never.
Clay, that's only one fight.
But it counts.
It counts, but it's only one fight. Outside of that, he's been a sideshow.
Bro, but at the point when he came back to boxing, when he fought Deontay Wilder, right? What he brought to the table was he was a lineal champion. He got in shape.
But what I'm saying, what did he do in the rematch with Klitschko?
Who?
Tyson Fury.
He fought him in the rematch?
Exactly. You know why?
He didn't take, yeah.
Because of the antics.
Yeah, he got because he was on drugs and drinks.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's because he was a sideshow. We never saw the rematch with Klitschko. He ballooned up to 400 pounds. He just happened to get that win. So Ryan could have gotten a win and then went to be a sideshow. It's the same thing. His talent can't be denied, is what I'm saying.
I'm not denying it. I think a bunch of things can coexist in the same space. I think there's multiple truths here. But it's not. I believe that Ryan Garcia's value that he brought to the table, as far as that cult following, as far as the potential money you could make against Ryan Garcia. We got to put that to the side, because if it's not for his talent and for his trajectory, what he was projected to be with his talent, the money don't exist. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, he's a legacy.
He is talented, right? But the money part is important.
But what I'm saying, he's a legacy fight before the money. The money just comes, the money and the things come along with him. But he's a legacy fight without that.
Time music dumb. I'm not saying he's one of the best ever. I'm talking about how he was being regarded, how he was being held up.
So what I'm saying, keep in mind
what the story was behind him.
Keep in mind, right? Keep in mind. Before he fought Tank, he was 2 years and 2 fights removed from fighting at 135. He wasn't even fighting there no more. And he was the one that was calling out Tank. It just happened so he is one of the 4 kings that the boxing world revealed as the 4 guys that take over boxing. He's one of them. What comes along with him and his baggage is another conversation. But if let's not act like if Devin fought Teo, he gonna get the bag fighting Teo.
Right. But if there's a fight, or if Devin takes a Ryan fight over a Teo fight, what's the difference maker going to be?
Nothing for Dev, because
I'm saying, why would he take a fight with Ryan?
Let me explain to you why. I'm going to explain to you why is nothing going to be different. Against Teo, he'll be the A side, right? So he's going to make a lot of money. Against Ryan, he's going to be the B side, so he's going to make about the same money he makes around fighting Teo than he would Ryan, because he's the B side.
I don't think that they would look at it that way. I think they would see Ryan as the big payday, because Teo's never even done a payday.
No, but what I'm saying is it still levels out, because as I fight Teo, I'm the A side, so I'm gonna get more money fighting Teo. Against Ryan, I'm gonna be the B side, so I'm gonna get the lower number, but it'll equal the same amount of money I got fighting Teo, because I'm getting a higher number fighting Teo.
So if they picked Ryan over Teo, why would they do that?
But they didn't.
No, I'm saying if they did.
If they picked Ryan, but that wouldn't make sense, though, because here's the problem with that. They didn't pick Ryan over Teo because Teo represented the legacy fight over the money.
Right. Ryan wasn't even an option at that point. They wouldn't.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But it was an option.
So But this is what I'm saying. So you answered it, right? So you see that he's fighting for legacy over bag, because the legacy, along with the unification and the bag, comes with Teo. That's why I wanted him first.
Right, but Ryan wasn't on the table. We don't know that he picked Teo.
No, Ryan wasn't on the table.
That's what I'm saying. So we don't know that he picked Teo over Ryan.
No.
We already agreed that he never even.
No, but Ryan wasn't on the table, because the first time they tried to negotiate, when Ryan was his mandatory, Ryan was playing games and Devin threw his hands up. Okay, you ain't trying to fight.
Yeah, you talking about back in the day, yeah.
When he knocked out Luke Campbell.
Right.
So Devin was like, bro, you man, let's make it happen. It's a big fight, right? Ryan said, what did Ryan say? I'm saving you for last. I'm going to fight Tank, knock him out. I'm going to fight Teo, knock him out. And then I'm get to you. You my toughest fight. I'm saving you for last. Devin went along with it. Cool. You ain't trying to fight. So I'm going by my way. Let me get Teo. Let me get Tank. Tank is the big dog that everybody says is a knockout artist. He's gonna knock me out. We got history again, right? Let me fight Tank. Tank says I'm going in this direction. Cool. I just beat Regis. I got the WBC belt. T.O., you got the WBO. Let's unify the belts. T.O. play games. He didn't want to fight.
Right.
Because why? And let me tell you, and I'm going to tell the people, like Bob Arum told me, because T.O. was trying to get out his contract with Top. So Bob was like, he wasn't trying to take, what they was trying to offer, so on and such. So T.O. went in a different direction. Right? Again, before remember, before the Ryan fight, again, remember when Ryan pulled out? This is what people don't take into consideration. When Ryan pulled out, remember, they tried to go to T.O. again.
Right.
And T.O. said no.
Okay.
So he tried to fight the unification. And, and then they had the situation with Subriel Matias.
So are we going to disregard that Bill Haney himself and Devin Haney himself said that they were in a prize fighting chapter of their career, and they weren't? They said, hold on, they said they weren't concerned. When I asked Bill Haney on Mill City, and I asked him this, he said, when I asked him if they were going to chase down Undisputed, were they looking to do the same thing at 140 they did at 135? He asked me, how old was Terrence Crawford when he became Undisputed? Twice. I said, I don't know, like 30-something, 33, 34 years old, whatever it was at the time. I don't remember the exact age. He said, exactly. Devin has plenty of time to chase legacy. Right now, we are more focused on the prize fighter part of Devin Haney's career. He said that.
Right, but he's still fighting, but he's still fighting legacy. What we're removing, he's fighing legacy fights. That brings the best. This is Bill Point, right?
Oh.
I already became Undisputed. I beat Lomachenko. I'm a 2-division champion, right? I'm not getting any credit for this.
Right.
Money-wise, okay. So I go up and I still fight the champion of Regis Prograis. That's not a big money fight. When he went to 140, after beating Lomachenko, he could have seeked out the biggest money fight at 140. Right? He didn't. He went to Regis Prograis to fight for the WBC title. And remember, everybody
would.
Huh?
I said no, just like that was a a Devin Haney move. It made sense. Fighting Regis Prograis was all legacy. It made sense.
Remember this. Remember, everybody said, why did you go after Regis instead of T.O.? You could have made yourself the mandatory for T.O. Devin said, because after I beat Regis, I'm going to unify against T.O. And he kept his word.
Word is bond.
Right? Word. So T.O. is the one that said no. Subriel Matias, the IBF champion, he said no.
Okay.
Right. So now I'm with you.
I'm with you. Go ahead. I'm with you.
Now I fall on Ryan Garcia. I didn't shoot. He's my 4th option.
Right.
So I'm not chasing the bag, I'm chasing legacy.
Okay, but the game switched at some point, right? And when did the game switch? The game switched, to me personally, from my personal opinion, the game switched up when the reason that he couldn't build a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, which was still something he was chasing at 135. He carried that energy into 140 and tried to make it happen, right? So the game changed when he made the fight with Regis Prograis, had the home field thing going on in the stadium in Oakland, California, sold out the building, made a good argument about his ability to fill seats up, and then had Turkey Alalshikh willing to go ahead and put the money up. He then revisited the Gervonta Tank Davis situation, and Gervonta threw him and Turkey to the side and said he's not studying him no more. So now he left the legacy part. He went back to the legacy part at that point and said, all right, well, if that's not going to work, then let me aim at the Teofimo fight, because that's who he was. When Teofimo started throwing the wrench in the game and started playing games and didn't want to make the fight happen because, like you said, he was having issues with Bob Arum and he was trying to get out of that. At some point in the process, Team Haney decided to aim at the prize fighting part of the sport more than the legacy. They left it alone. At what point when Ryan Garcia got brought to the table, that's when I had an opportunity to speak to Bill Haney on Mill City and said, now that you got Turkey Alalshikh there and he's willing to put up the money, now you can get the legacy and the money. Why won't you just go down in the legacy way? That's what I said, because I was trying to figure out what was he doing the Ryan Garcia fight for now that he didn't have to fight those kind of fights to get the money. He said to me, we're not chasing. He said to me, how old? He asked me a question. He said, how old was Terrence Crawford when he did it? And I answered it. And he said, we have plenty of time to do legacy. Right now, we are going to be on the prize fighter side of the conversation. It's on recorded on the Mill City show.
But listen, this is what not adding up. Because you see, you're saying at some point it changed. It never changed. He only had one fight, which was Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, but so what happened? Okay, so let me ask you this.
So now I'm asking. Hold on.
What happened when Eddie? Hold on. What happened when Eddie Hearn, who said we were going to get Devin Haney to go ahead and leave that belt because there's no money in the Sandor Martin fight, right? He said there's no money in it. Devin will probably leave the WBC title, and we're going to look to make another fight that's going to make him some money. Devin changed his mind again and had Eddie Hearn lost in words like what? Because he thought him and Devin were on the same page that we were going to head into being prize fighters at this point. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. You answer. Right. But that's what I'm saying. You're answering your own. You're answering.
Eddie even thought he was going to be a prize fighter.
Yeah, but no, he didn't go into prize fighting. He dropped the belt, right, and stayed there to get his get back with Ryan Garcia. So he didn't change anything.
He didn't drop his belt. He tried to get the fight made with Sandor Martin. Nobody wanted to offer
because okay, so follow me. He lost to Ryan Garcia, right? That whole situation happened, right? The debacle, right? Okay, the WBC gives him an ultimatum. You got to fight Sandor Martin or drop the belt,
right?
Okay. They already said they was going to take the year off, but when the WBC didn't back him, remember Devin went to social media and said they know I'm going through something, they're not backing me.
Right.
Okay, so he didn't want to drop the belt.
Right, he wanted to fight Sandor Martin and keep his belt.
He wanted to fight Sandor Martin,
and keep he wanted the money,
of course.
And they wouldn't give it to him. That's when he was saying they were trying to lowball him now.
Right. So now Eddie Hearn
his value.
Right. So now follow this. Now he goes into negotiations, Eddie Hearn and so on and so forth. They're not trying to pay him his worth, right? They're trying to drastically underpay him. Right. Now he's like, hold on. I'm not taking what you mean? We seen what happened with the situation with Ryan. Now you want me to take pennies on a dollar? And this dude cheated? It's not like I just lost.
Right, okay.
And I'm still the champion. Eddie then was like, oh, his worth and all X, Y, and Z. Right? So they made the decision, okay, my value and my brand has taken a hit. Right? My brand and my value has taken a hit. We vacating the belts. I'm not fighting this dude for no pennies on the dollar. That's ridiculous. Right? So now I'm dropping the belt, right? Now I'm going to go into this. Now Ryan Garcia, they find out, reality set in. That situation with Ryan Garcia has made my brand and my value take a hit.
Right.
Nobody wanted to pick it up, right? So now he goes into the lawsuit, X, Y, and Z, and he wants to get his get back with Ryan Garcia. So now he takes the year off, so on and so forth. The situation falls to where Ryan Garcia says, drop the lawsuit, I'll rematch you. Devin says, no problem. That's not for money, that's for legacy. That's for his get back.
Okay, we're moving past that certain point. Now I believe it's about his get back. But what I'm saying is when that fight was first put together for Ryan Garcia, that was a money fight for Devin. That was more money. There was legacy in it for sure. But that's what I'm saying.
That's just automatic. That's like saying, hey, Terrence Crawford, why are you fighting Errol Spence? For the bag. He got more money fighting Errol Spence than he did everybody else. But it was about legacy first.
I don't believe so.
Errol Spence didn't fight. Terrence Crawford didn't fight.
Oh, I'm talking about Ryan and Devin. Yes, of course. Legacy for Terrence and Errol.
How could it not be?
Because with Terrence and Errol, there was a unification, undisputed fight on the line. But Clay, if it wasn't for those belts, I don't think that fight would have held as much weight.
Clay, you're not factoring in. He's the fourth option, bro. I done went through 4 people.
Who, Ryan?
Devin.
Right. I'm saying Devin fighting Ryan. Ryan was the fourth option, right?
No, what I'm saying, right. So we can't say it's for the money. I went through 4 dudes that ain't trying to fight for legacy. What other?
No, you went through 3 dudes that were going to be legacy fights.
Right. Okay. So now, if he didn't fight Ryan, who is he going to fight for legacy?
Who would he have? He could have fought Sandor Martin, defending his title, and chasing.
That's what legacy over fighting Ryan Garcia.
No, I'm saying it's just like Jerron Boots Ennis fighting Karen, right? Karen ain't a legacy fight, but Karen is a move in the direction of legacy because I'm keeping my belt. So I'm securing my IBF title so that I can go ahead and move on.
But unifications trump.
If he was legacy driven, why would he let his belt be taken away?
Because unifications trump mandatories.
Right. Well, I'm saying if the unification is not there, I'm saying if Teofimo is not going to fight Devin, right?
No. This is what I'm asking. Devin fighting Ryan is not a bigger legacy fight than Devin fighting Sandor Martin.
I'm trying to. Okay, in a way, no. I'm going to tell you why. In a way, it's not, because Sandor Martin is a mandatory, and it allows you to keep your belt, which makes these unifications make sense. If you lose your belt, right? If Teofimo doesn't fight doesn't fight Devin Haney, right? And Subriel Matias is not willing to fight Devin Haney, and he doesn't have another champion who's willing to unify.
Sandor Martin wasn't his mandatory though.
Yes, he was. Sandor Martin was Devin Haney's mandatory.
He didn't become his mandatory until after the fight.
After what fight?
After Ryan fight.
No, he was a mandatory before. They had to pay him step aside money to fight. He got paid step aside money, bro. He been the mandatory for Devin.
Okay, you know so let's say he took it's a bigger legacy fight to fight Ryan Garcia than to fight Sandor Martin.
When you saying it that way on face value on paper, yes. But if you're not, but no, listen, I'm be real with you. If Sandor Martin did not take that step aside money, right, he was going to be a very important chess piece for Devin Haney to pursue unifications in the 140.
If Sandor Martin didn't take step aside money, the whole boxing world would have been upside down. If you don't take the step aside money so that Devin can fight Ryan Garcia, the boxing world be upside down.
That's a different conversation, Blue.
No,
that's the conversation about the pressure that Sandor Martin won't take.
Listen. The reason being is not for the money, is because Ryan Garcia represents a bigger threat, which means he's a bigger legacy fight.
No. Legacy.
Okay, let me ask you this question. If Ryan Garcia never lost to Tay, and Ryan Garcia is in the rankings, he was Devin mandatory before. If Devin Haney chose to fight Sandor Martin over fighting Ryan Garcia, people would be like, you ducked Ryan Garcia. Because Ryan Garcia is the bigger threat.
They can say whatever they want to say, Blue, but at the end of the day, titles and legacy go together like peanut butter and jelly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he was able to keep both.
But what I'm saying to you is Sandor Martin, that's because Sandor Martin was cooperative. He cooperated, and he stepped aside, took the step aside money, and allowed it to happen.
Right, as he should have.
In the argument, if the argument was Sandor Martin saying, "I don't care what y'all do," like for example, like David Benavidez right now,
he gets stripped, right? He gets stripped. The boxing world gonna look at the WBC like fools.
Like that, would it be the first time that happened? They just acted a fool with CJ Bivol.
But no, Sandor Martin. The difference is David Benavidez. We talking about David Benavidez. He's a threat. Sandor Martin, David Benavidez better be ever is the same threat. Sandor Martin don't represent that same threat. He don't represent a legacy fight.
It's about position. It's the same way. It's the same way that Karen.
What I'm saying is he tried to. he tried to unify against the other two champions in the division.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work. So why do I have to fight Sandor Martin over fighting Ryan Garcia?
Because he's my man. Because he's your mandatory.
It doesn't. Yeah, but Clay, what I'm saying is that he's still chasing the best legacy fights. It just comes with the bag.
I disagree. The reason I disagree is because legacy and championships go together. Like I said, peanut butter and jelly.
Right. That's why I'm trying to unify the belts.
All right, but we've already come to the understanding that the unifications weren't on the table.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: Now listen to this. He don't fight Ryan Garcia. He fights Sandor Martin.
Right.
He keeps the belt.
Yes.
Tito still don't fight him. What's he supposed to do? Fight his next mandatory?
But I can promise you, there's no unification without.
Wait. Tio and Matias still don't fight him.
Okay.
And now Isaac Cruz beats Rolly, and he still don't fight him. Now he's just supposed to fight his next champion instead of fighting Ryan Garcia?
No, because they won't be mandatories. He has time. There's a year and some change before he has.
He's only gonna get one title defense.
Who?
Devin.
Yeah, so against Sandor.
Right. No, if he beats Sandor Martin instead of fighting Ryan Garcia, he's gonna only get one more title defense before he has to defend against another mandatory. So now he don't get Tio. He don't get Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz said, I don't like his style. I'm not fighting. Tio, we already know the situation. He's trying to get out of his contract. So there was no fighting him in sight. And Subriel Matias, that's the only maybe.
So okay, for me, I'm gonna keep it simple, right? And you can tell me yes or no, however you want to answer it, right? If Sandor Martin stands behind his mandatory and does not take step aside money, is Devin Haney going to lose that WBC title?
Yes.
If Devin Haney loses that WBC title, can he unify?
No.
So is not Sandor Martin an integral part of a legacy-driven fighter like Devin Haney to unify? If he's chasing Teofimo Lopez for a unification, he's chasing Subriel Matias for a unification, what's the use in doing that without a title?
No, it's still done. That, and you know better than that. Because let me tell you why. You know belts don't make like what belt was on the line with Floyd for Pacquiao?
Oh, that's different.
Why?
Because they built up a I understand where you're going with it to a degree, but I'm going to say that Pacquiao and Floyd were already very decorated fighters, and they were destined to fight each other. So that had a good story behind it. There's some legacy there, like Conor Benn.
But they had to fight specific fights to become decorated. Certain names.
Okay.
What belt was on the line with Floyd for Cotto?
Wasn't it Cotto's belts? Didn't Cotto have belts in that fight?
There was no belts on the line.
Hold on a second.
When Floyd fought Shane Mosley, what belt was on the line? No belt. You know why?
Floyd didn't have no belts?
No, Shane had the belt. You know why no belt was on the line? You know why no belt was on the line? Because Floyd said, keep your belt. I don't want the belts. It's just money. I'm not paying the money. Why do I have to pay money when the point is to see Shane and Floyd fight?
Right, because Floyd was already Shane was already Shane.
Now let me show you.
Let
me show you why. Let me show you why. Because he's already decorated, right?
Who?
Devin is already decorated.
But Ryan ain't.
But still, it doesn't matter. Ryan is the guy that still now Devin is his decoration.
All right, but I think it's different than comparing them to a Manny Pacquiao and a Floyd.
No, it's not because it's not because Devin is the decorated fighter. I'm Floyd Mayweather,
and he's Shane Mosley.
I'm Miguel Cotto. Right. So Devin is not doing it for. I don't need the belt. I'm doing it for the name now.
Devin ain't vacating that WBC title if Sandor Martin pushes him to it.
But Clay, this is what I'm saying.
Because he knows the value.
I don't have to fight. You are Sandor Martin don't do nothing. He don't move the needle for my legacy. Just keeping the belt. If I fight Teofimo Lopez with or without the WBC belt, you're gonna remember that fight, whether the belt is on the line or not. It just adds to the incentive that it was a unification.
Right.
But at the end of the day, It doesn't matter. He fights here. It's a way bigger fight. Take the belt. I beat Ryan and Tio. It's way better for my legacy than me beating Sandor Martin and Tio.
I think a Gervonta Tank Davis, or I think certain fighters would do it like that and move like that. I think that makes sense, and they do things like that. I don't think Devin moves like that. I don't think he gets his belt taken away from him to fight Ryan Garcia. I don't think so. I think he works with it as long as it's there.
But that's why he took, again, that's why I'm telling you, he's doing it for legacy. Once again, he took a pay cut to be able to pay Sandor Martin and took the B side to fight Ryan Garcia, not for the bread, for the legacy.
Not for the bread is that I know, bro.
Of course, the bread is going to come with it's a high profile fight, so the bread is order. This is what I'm saying. It's a high profile fight. The bread automatically comes with it. That's automatic. It's automatic. If Wilder fights right now, Wilder's going to fight whoever, right? If Wilder fight Joshua, they both came off knockout losses. They both going to get super bread because it's a high profile fight.
Ryan was always a money fight. It's all I know, bro.
But
I believe that.
But you.
And I talked to Bill. That's how he left me feeling. Like no, but this is what I'm saying. What they did that for.
Right, but when
what?
You saying he was always the money fight?
I didn't say. I said Ryan was the money fight. It makes sense.
But this is what I'm telling you. You can't say that. Let me tell you why you can't say that. Because he chased the legacy first. He felt the pet, so he's not chasing the bread.
No, but with Ryan, I didn't say he was chasing the bread because he never even asked Ryan to fight. Ryan,
that's what I'm trying to tell you. So if I
entertained it and took the fight because it was a money fight, that was all Ryan really.
No, but he didn't take.
He could have waited for Ryan to get himself a belt. If it was legacy, he'd have been like, "Yo, go get you a belt, bro."
And fight Sandor Martin over fight Ryan Garcia. Come on.
No, and why not fight Sandor Martin? I feel you, right? Why would he allow that money?
That's diabolical,
brother.
I'm gonna fight Sandor. Sandor Martin already took losses.
Why? Okay, listen. Why is Ryan Garcia? Okay, Ryan Garcia is a bigger fight. Rhymes with money.
No, Ryan Garcia represents legacy. What if you look at Devin Haney's resume and it said Sandor Martin or Ryan Garcia as a win? Which one is the more legacy fight in 20 years?
I know without a doubt Ryan Garcia is.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But Sandor Martin is an important chess piece in the legacy.
No, but they put Sandor.
Like if Sandor doesn't take that payoff, he fights Sandor.
Sandor is the legacy fight, right? I mean, he is in order to keep his belt. Ryan is the legacy fight. We got to remove the bread part. The money's gonna come with it. If he fought Tank, the money coming with it. If he fought Tio, the money coming with it. If he fought Ryan, the money coming with it. It doesn't matter. Those names, you put them together.
I don't think that Ryan Garcia was as much legacy as a Tiafimo fight.
No, it's not. It's not, right? But because Tio is a decorated out of the four kings, Ryan is the least decorated out of the four kings.
He's a four kings.
If you put
four kings, but he had lost a lot of that steam when he took that hiatus after the Luke Campbell fight. He just wasn't that yet. That's why he kind of lost.
But his stock was high before the Luke Campbell fight. That's what I'm telling you.
I know that.
Right? And so if you put Ryan in the ring with Sandor Martin, he's going to be the favorite on everybody's board because his stock. If you don't put Ryan in there with Shakur, Tank, Devin, Tio, and I would say Gary, Anton Russell. Right? Outside of them, who the hell you favoring to beat Ryan Garcia?
No, listen, I'm not going to argue that. I'm saying
we did not see. We were shocked like everybody else when Rolly, outside of yourself, and you say, "Hey, I feel like Rolly might upset," right? And the brother Ray and Floyd Mayweather. Outside of that, the whole world. The reason it was an upset is because Ryan was supposed to win. Right.
Facts.
Right. Facts. Tank and Ryan was a big fight, not just because of the money. They didn't know that fight was. They thought, obviously, we thought it was going to do well. but it exceeded expectations, right? Because you put two superstars together. Outside of that, when Ryan fighting without Devin, without Tank, this is what I'm trying to explain to you, right? We equating the money with Ryan, but he doesn't bring the money without the other piece. So Devin is important to bring together with Ryan. He's going to get the bag. Ryan Garcia doesn't sell without Devin, Tank, or these guys. He don't do it.
Facts. I agree with that.
He don't represent the money. He only represents the money when you take another piece to the puzzle
he
and bring it together.
He represents the curry in the curry goat, right? Like he's a seasoning that's very important. He's one half of your
biggest, that's what I'm telling you. So that's why I'm telling you. That's how you know it's a legacy fight. Because he is just another piece to the puzzle. When you bring them pieces, they form Voltron.
I will rock with it being a legacy fight, makes it the prize fight, right? Like it's a big fight that everybody wants to see. I agree with that, right? But what I'm saying is the prize is the prize fighting. When you fight Ryan Garcia, the money is the attractive thing.
I'm listening. I'm just grabbing my protein.
Okay. Even Ryan Garcia says it in his own interviews that everybody knows your biggest payday is going to be with me. He says it. He doesn't even hide it. He goes, everybody knows when I'm at 140, he said, everybody knows their biggest payday is with me. I was Gervonta Tank Davis's biggest payday. Ryan Garcia hangs his hat on this. He understands what his value is.
But you're not what you're not factoring in. Everybody's biggest payday is the same thing when they fight Devin.
Okay, no, I'm not denying. I think two things. I think Devin is a big
that's what I'm saying.
But when Devin looks at Ryan,
if I bring them together,
right?
Yeah, me with him is going to equal a massive payday and a legacy fight because of the name.
Legacy is going to be on the back end though, not on the front end.
No. Legacy is the reason that it equates to the big money is because of the legacy.
Legacy.
You don't see a A-side fighter fighting a D-level fighter and they bring together a lot of money. Right. The reason they bring the money together
sometimes
because Tank has built up his profile. Right. So, but like Mike Tyson, right? So Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is the Devin, when whoever Devin fights is going to get their biggest payday. Jose Ramirez just got his biggest payday because he's fighting Devin on Turkey card, right? But you take those pieces now, 2 A's, and put them together. Of course, they're going to make an explosion.
Right, it's going to be a lot of money.
But that's because of who they represent as individuals. You feel me? Because Ryan has just not lived up to the hype, right? He's not accomplished what we thought. Like he's never fought for a title. Like it's like, bro, you dragging your excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, what are you doing, bro? He don't want to fight for this. He don't want to fight this guy. Hey, man, he just goes along with the motion. But his talent is undeniable.
No, listen, his talent's undeniable. I always acknowledge Ryan Garcia's amateur career, and all the national amateur fights, tournaments that he won, and I even said when before this fight with Rolly, I said, yo, I'm loving this Ryan. He's dialed in. This is the Ryan I wanted to see. This is the Ryan that I remember back in the day that I wanted to see fight all these big fights. I knew he was projected to be such a star because of his boxing. The next Oscar de la Hoya, the next Golden Boy. He was given the highest accolades, you know what I'm saying, coming into the sport.
His trajectory, that's what I'm saying. But he chose not to follow the path. It's not because of his ability and the trajectory is not there. It's only because we got to factor in. I think we're misunderstanding that he only lost to Tank.
Right.
At that point,
when that trust me.
And with an asterisk by it. Right. It's just that he does foolishness.
Yeah, but he went crazy.
Yeah, no, he went crazy.
When he went crazy, it changed.
No, he went crazy during the Devin stuff. But he did the foolishness.
Yeah, you're right. It was the Devin. It was during the Devin
stuff. He did the silly He didn't take Duarte seriously.
Right. He started a little bit of crazy with the Oscar Duarte fight, as far as like calling out Oscar and Bernard and becoming real vocal about his career. And you know, I mean, he started a little bit, but it was okay. I was still a fan of him doing that. I actually liked him calling out Oscar and calling out Bernard, but he went crazy with Devin. He literally went crazy.
We know why. He ain't raging no more.
Right, but as soon as he dialed it in, as soon as he dialed down, but I'm just saying, Ryan has always been who Ryan is. Like, I've always looked at him that way, and I know that's what got him to the big stage. That's what made the fight with him and Tank a big deal, because everybody wanted to see Ryan there. There was an asterisk there. Hindsight put the asterisk there to see how he performed that fight. Kind of made people like, that fight don't even count for real. But at the end of the day, if Devin Haney is looking at Ryan Garcia in comparison to a Subriel Matias or a Teofimo Lopez, and yes, a Sandor Martin, if he's looking at Ryan Garcia and not able to make those fights happen, or doesn't want, you know, Sandor Martin is just like inconvenient truth. He's an inconvenient truth. He's not legacy like, oh, Sandor Martin. No, he's an inconvenient. Damn it, if this dude don't take this payoff, I'm going to lose my belt. If I lose my belt, that goes against my whole entire legacy thing right now. Ryan Garcia gets brought to the table. The reason I even entertain losing my WBC title, if I do let it go, in my personal opinion, if Bill was here right now, I think Bill would say it'd be because of the payday.
No.
Now, maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he would say legacy. Bill might say it. Bill might say legacy, but I think it was your heart, Bill. It's the money.
He chose Ryan. No, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it was about the money, they would have chose to go with Ryan from the very beginning. They didn't. They were
going with in the beginning. They were down. When Ryan called them out, they were down immediately. They wasted no time.
They wasn't going with him from the beginning. They was going with Tio. Tank.
No. I'm saying once Ryan said, let's make the fight, they were down immediately.
They ain't got nobody else to fight.
Nah, they would have gone. I wish Bill. Call Bill up and tell him to hit the damn link.
Who else was they gonna fight?
Listen, bro.
Subriel Matias, the champion. The champion said no.
Yeah, because
Tank said no.
Right.
Who am I fighting?
Tio said, I mean, you got to fight your mandatory.
The fifth best option. Ryan is the fifth best option. It's not about the bag. The bag comes along.
How you can sit here and say they didn't fight Ryan for that bag? That blows me away. That was that money, man.
Because if they was fighting Ryan for the bag, they would have went that direction first.
No,
like you just said, he's going to get similar to more money to fight Ryan than he would Tio. So why am I calling Tio?
Call Bill, man. Tell him to pick up.
Why am I? Look, we ain't got to call Bill. Why am I calling? If I'm going to make more money fighting Ryan,
bro.
If I'm going to make more money fighting Ryan, then I'm going to
do. Bill, are you watching?
Why didn't I call out Ryan first before going the route of Tio?
No, I'm not saying they never called out Ryan ever.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So how's it about the bag?
But I'm saying,
bro, you can't say
Ryan. The reason they didn't call Ryan is because there was no legacy in it. They didn't care. They were legacy fighters. It was like, I'm not really studying that dude. That dude ain't really do nothing. They weren't even thinking about him because he wasn't.
If I go to the gym, if there's the baddest there's three baddest dudes in the gym, and I go to my gym and I say, yo, what up, man? You want to fight? Nah, I ain't trying to fight. You want to fight? Nah, I ain't trying to fight. You want to fight? Nah, I ain't trying to fight. The fourth baddest dude in the gym, I'm walking out the gym, and he like, what's up? I want to fight. And I fight him and beat the break. They like, man, you only fought him. No, bro, what do you mean? I came in to fight him, and him. I landed on him.
You landed on him, but you didn't have to fight him.
Clay, come on, bro.
So why did you fight him?
That's the case. He ain't have to fight none.
You telling me if that guy, let's say it was $50,000, you're gonna get paid to fight that guy in the parking lot, right?
But he's already undisputed. I'm already undisputed, and Devin, he's already undisputed. So again, I'm already undisputed. I'm the world champion in this division. I'm trying to unify the belts. Here we go with the politics again. In the division again. I went through these politics in the other divisions. Now I'm going through the politics again. Okay. I'm going to fight who's available. Ryan Garcia wants to fight now? Okay, I'm fighting Ryan Garcia. Don't got nothing to do with the bag. The bag comes along with it. I already played the politic game. This is what you're not factoring in.
You acting like Ryan was just He was just an available body, man. That's all. No, he was.
He called me out.
Yeah, but the money was there with Ryan. That's why Ryan even said to Devin,
you can't do that.
That's like Ryan backed out of the Ryan backed out of the negotiations with Devin.
He tried to go the route of Teofimo Lopez again.
Huh? No, but what was the reason that Ryan said he backed out of the negotiation to go with Rolly?
Because Floyd told him he should go that way.
Right, but he also said Devin needs to understand he's not the A side. He talked to me like I'm A side, right?
Right.
So
and what did Devin say? Devin said, we already knew he wasn't A side. We didn't care.
Okay, so why didn't we care? Because the money was going to be there regardless.
But that's what I'm saying, Clay. That doesn't make sense.
Yo, Devin fought Ryan for money, Blue. I'm telling you, he fought him for money.
That don't make sense.
You better call Bill and ask him. He's gonna tell you. He's gonna tell you, bro. I know he's gonna tell you. He's gonna be like, he ain't lying.
It's not for the money. If I'm fighting for the money, I would have went that route to begin with. I'm not fighting.
I'm not saying you're fighting. Well, first of all, it's already on record that Bill said, and Devin said at that press conference that I'm fighting for the prize now. I've already done. I'm going for my money. He did this.
And what press conference?
The Regis Prograis one.
When after he beat Regis?
Yes.
But I came here and won a championship.
Okay, but he said at the end on his post-fight press conference, he said he was chasing the bag.
Right, because of the politics. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, whatever his reason was, if you his mindset was.
Right, but you can't. But Clay, no, you can't do that, bro. You can't say he's only chasing. If I'm being blackballed, I can only chase what's available to me. It's not my fault. You can't say, "Oh, he was being
blackballed by the post-fight press conference with Regis."
Bro, he was being. Yeah, you failing to realize at 135 he was trying to unify the belts and they was playing games. Before he fought Regis, right? He was talking about Bob Arum was talking about him and T.O. unifying the belts. T.O. was already saying that Devin wasn't on his radar. Right. He was already starting to play games. Okay. And Rolly was the champion and they was talking about Pitbull Cruz, not Devin. So that was his whole point. Let me get a belt and they can't block me out. I fought Regis and now they're still playing the games. What am I to do now? Now I'm gonna still play these games with y'all like y'all did at 135? No. So, okay, I still tried to play the game with you. What's up, Tank? No. What's up, T.O.? Let's unify the belts. No, you got to do this. Okay, what's up? What's up, Sabril Matias? You raising your hand, what's up? Then that whole debacle happened with him and his people. Okay, now I'm sitting there like, all right, this dude don't want to fight. Now I get a phone call. Hey, man, Ryan want to fight. Okay, what's up? Let's make it happen. Nah, you chasing the bag. How?
First of all, chasing the bag ain't a horrible thing.
No, it's not at all. But
I'm not trying to paint this dude as some kind of like, you just want the money. That's all you want. But I am saying, and I'm standing on. Bill can come up here and just put me on, get me together, and be like, "Yo, brother, you wrong."
But that's
the Ryan Garcia fight was a money opportunity.
It's not a money opportunity, bro. It was just an opportunity to present itself that comes with money. There's a difference. If I don't have nothing else and I take this opportunity, it's not for the money. If it was about the money, I would have went that route to begin with. Right? So let's say to give you an example.
Well, why would I go?
Let me give you another example, right? You tell your wife for all these days or for a year, hey, I'm trying to have sex. No, I'm not trying to do it. I'm not trying to do it. Now, okay, I go with somebody else. Oh, see, you wanted to cheat. What are you talking about? No, it don't work. It don't work. I tried to do it with you. You didn't want to do it.
No, I don't know about that example. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I don't know, but maybe I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I gotta think about it. I'll let that roll around in my head and get back.
Nah, don't answer that, bro. Don't answer.
I'm gonna get back to you on that one. I'll let you know. I don't know all the way yet. I don't know. I'll let that roll around a little bit.
Don't answer that one.
I'm gonna let that roll around a little bit. I'll get back to you on that one. I got no answer for that just yet. I'll get back to you though. I'll let you know what I think about that one. I don't know. I don't know all the way, bro. You know what I'm saying? You might be right. Though. You might be right. I gotta think about it. I'll get back to you. You might got one on that one, but then again, you might not. You might not. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Maybe.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that, bro. Yo.
I don't know, baby.
Hey, my wife gonna kill me now. Yo, Mike, brother in the super chat dropped tonight. I went too far, bro.
Yeah, Jalen said, right. Use another example. You know what I mean? I'm not ready to say no, but I'm definitely not ready to say yes.
Yeah. Yo, bro. Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Almost got me with that one. That was like, I had to think. I was like, maybe? I don't know. I got to talk about it. I'm going to have to talk about my wife later. I'm like, babe, so
oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Bro. It is what it is. Hold on.
Yo.
That was a good one, though.
Yo, bro. I was
saying look like you would.
I know. I was with you.
We would not.
I was with you. Oh, snap, bro.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
I was with you too. I was with you too.
I was right there. We was almost about done. You almost closed it out. We was right about there. Then I don't know.
I don't know about that. Yo, bro.
It is what it is.
Salute to Mike in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on the super chat. He said Boots versus Tio is the next blockbuster fight. I wish media would hype up, especially if it's on the Canelo versus Crawford undercard. I mean, we've been trying to hype it up as much as possible. Lance Shepard, brother in the super chat, he said, Clay, you cooking, bro. Salute, fellas. Hashtag keep punching. Salute to you, Lance. Andre Griffin, brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on the super chat. He said, great debate, gentlemen. This is a perfect example of two things can be true at the same time. 1000%. This is what boxing is supposed to look like. We ain't supposed to agree. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to, I hate that saying. I see it with my own eyes, heard it with my own ears. Who else is? And, I get the notion, but this, we can have fun, healthy debates, man. This is fun. You know what I'm saying?
That was fun. That was fun.
That's what the sport of boxing is about, bro.
I don't care either way, but if there's an argument we made, we're gonna argue
because there's no real right or wrong, right? It's about the money, obviously, and a case can be made. It's about the legacy, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jalen said, "Got Clay sweating."
Why that happened? I ain't gonna lie. I was like.
Yo, your face was priceless.
I don't know which hemisphere I was tapping into, but I was trying to put it together. I was trying to put it together. I was like, I had to look up to the level.
Yeah. Trinidad Drew said blue setting traps counters.
It was a good one, right, Trillian?
Yeah.
I was like, I was almost there.
Went too far, bro. Went too far. Went way too far, bro. When weight got beside myself, bro.
Yeah.
Beside myself. Nah, but yeah, man. So hopefully we could get what we're supposed to get tomorrow, our special guest on the show. You know what I'm saying? So we could cook properly, with that situation. You know what I'm saying? I need everybody to take a moment out to subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. If you have not subscribed to his channel, the link to his channel is pinned right there up in the chat. I need you guys to select his channel, hit the subscribe button, and support my brother Claymore Rain, man. We had a great night, great fun. And this was off the cuffs because we had a whole other plan.
Right.
A whole other plan, you know what I'm saying? And so this was on the fly, people. So I need y'all to subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain, the link to his channel in the chat, man. And we're putting together like a prelim, right? Will be on his channel. We're looking to do it on Mondays, where we have we have something going up on his channel on Mondays. So make sure y'all tune into that soon. I guess this Monday coming up we could start. And then hopefully we get our special guest on tomorrow. was supposed to come on tonight, but plans got changed. So, gentlemen, well conducted. I was stressing for Clay as well. LOL. Yeah. I just went too far. Just a tad bit too far. Yo, but Clay face, when you was looking like this, you said.
I'm like, I don't know, man. That was kind of, that was kind of wild. I'm gonna let that simmer because I got enough respect to know that most of the time you got a reason behind what you're saying. I was gonna just give it to my slowness to be like, give me a minute. I'll get back.
You should have hit me with the, remember this? You should have hit me with the, you ain't gotta do all that, brother.
Yo, yeah, you know what I mean? That was definitely one of those moments. You ain't got to do all that, brother. Now, you ain't got to do all that, man. You know what I mean? They don't know where that one came from.
Yeah.
That wasn't from
you ain't got it. Yo, we had a great time, man. We had a great time. But, yeah, man, it's 10:30, man. Let's get on out of here, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. Tomorrow we'll be back on. Salute to each and every one of y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. And once again, follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV and click the link. Subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. Click the link, subscribe to his channel. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.